City is alive on 97.3.
City 97.3. Accra.
There can be no other than 97.3. No need to change. Keep it tuned to City. You're number one. Don't look no further. We've got it all covered. City FM.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning to life.
Good morning.
Music, talk, inspiration, in perspective.
Express yourself. Good morning, my neighbor.
City FM, your station.
It's a refreshing lifestyle.
City FM, 97.3.
I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Melts empty praise and treasures of fame are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together. And every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Hey. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Yes, I know it's true.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is City 97.3.
To show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy
You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. God is the only one who can do what appears natural supernaturally. A fantastic welcome by Brandon Lake and Elevation Worship, Graves into Gardens. So the question is, what is your ministry? It says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has anointed me to preach good tidings to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. Do you know the people you're sent to and what you're sent to them for? He opened the book where it was written concerning him. This is Luke 4:18, referencing Isaiah 61. So when you're asked, why are you here? What's your purpose for being on earth? Do you know who you are assigned to and what you're supposed to change in their life? Your assignment is always to a group of people. And your assignment is always for a period and a season. For the vision is for an appointed time. Though it tarries, wait for it. It will not tarry. So we need to know why we're here and who we're sent to. We are here on Free Radio to make a difference in the lives of our listeners and to help build a nation under God. It's a powerful song, a reminder that purpose is at the center of impact. So join us with your comment 054-998-6996. Today is Monday the 24th of February. What a day. For some it reminds them of all the bad things. The day Osachi was overthrown. 4 days before the February 28th crossroad shootings. A month filled with history. It's the month with the shortest number of days, but has some of the most impactful events in our history. Starting off with the news review brought to you by Fidelity Bank. From the dreams of youth to the ambitions of adulthood, wherever you are on the journey, starting a career, building a family, growing a business, or planning a future, we're here for your journey. Every goal deserves a chance to flourish, and with hard work, dedication, and strong belief in yourself, the seed of greatness is within reach. So trust in the journey and understand that Fidelity Bank is with you every step of the way. Segment is also brought to you by Total Energies, introducing our new formula, a 3-in-1 action formula that cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. Thanks to the cumulative effects of anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives, Excelum new formula lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption and reduces CO2 emissions. And if you're looking for a new burst of flavor in every sip, discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. The cola, the orange, the cocktail, the grapefruit, the tangy, available at a store near you. Call 0550-032-231. Piva Beverages, a taste you love.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Go me. At what time when you can't park where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. water. And what they boss my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish Magobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand Magobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
The go.
Yo, Anna. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel. Say Excellium. Choose Excellium. Choose quality.
Looking for a burst of flavor in every sip? Discover the refreshing taste of Piva beverages. Enjoy the classic Piva Cola flavor, perfect fit anytime. How about a fruity adventure? Try our delightful Piva orange fruit drink packed with recognized citrus flavor. Craving something exotic? Our Piva cocktail fruit drink brings the tropics to you. For a sweet and juicy treat, grab our grapefruit drink and don't miss out on the refreshing Piva tangerine fruit drink, bursting with tangerine flavor. Piva Cola, Piva Orange, Piva Cocktail, Piva Grape, Piva Tangy. Grab yours today. Available now at your local store. Call us on 055-00-322-31. Piva, a taste you love. This advert is FDA approved.
P for Piva.
My body, when you wake up in the morning and you know the money calling, oh, you go work, but you know it's out in your side. If I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, oh, cause you know it's out in your side. And when you dream, no say I never you. And when you hustle every day, many wanna go. Anything you do, I never you. Many want. If I believe I'm in your side, fidelity. If I believe with us, fidelity. If I know I'm in your side, fidelity.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
I get wings to fly. Oh, I'm alive. When you call on me, when I hear you breathe, I get wings to fly. I feel that I'm alive. When you look at me, I can touch the sky. I know that I'm alive. When you blast
6:40. Let's get into the newspaper review. My name is Bernard Avle. I'm here with Caleb Kuda and Godfred Akotoba. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Let me take you straight to the front page of the Daily Graphic this morning. Decade of irregularities in public institutions. 99 billion Ghana cedis lost to state. President shifts gears in Galamsey fight. Excavator seizure replaces burning. Government should not entirely fund education. This is coming from stakeholders at the National Education Forum.
Ghanaian publisher NIB on rampage goes after NPP bigwigs. Mohammed's Education Forum ploy to mutilate free SHS and Team Fojo here. SML sues Manasseh for defamation, demands 21 million Ghana cedi damages. Nilan Telate heads Akufo-Addo's drip and 1.3 billion Ghana cedi NPA embezzlement a hoax.
One page of the new publisher, Mayor Kunfi and Osonoba detained, fear and panic grip former appointees, and on the front page of the paper. Fenomaki denies using 50 military convoy escort.
Acting VRA boss rallies staff for national development. This is the Chronicle. It also has a big one here. The rise and fall of Ato Asians Bank. The impact of two governments.
Front page of the Herald newspaper this morning. Defense Minister asked to probe military lands sold under Kufuor. Minerals Commission boss in PR stunt to keep his job. NEIP's fake employment status revealed. Angry ex-communication director defends new CEO.
The new informer, alleged neglect of officers. Police refutes claims. NIB pursues NPP's Abronya over allegations against Mahama. Galamsey fired coalition faults minister over concrete measures to address it. IES predicts doomsday if revocation of appointments. We told you so as government defends decision.
Front page of the Inquisitor has the Manasseh story. Ghana's economy in worse shape than anticipated. Dr. Asuforsin, the finance minister, speaking. President Mahama to deliver State of the Nation on February 27. As always, their favorite politicians on the front page, Matthew Poku Prempe, will be speaking in Kenya tomorrow, according to the paper.
The Ghanaian Times, funding educational infrastructure. We must not rely solely on GET Fund. This is the administrator, Mr. Paul Ajay, speaking. Levy 0.5% on diaspora remittances to fund free SHS. A group is advocating, and President Mahama holds talks with Deputy UK Prime Minister Sao Tome President, among others. And Ghana Immigration Service intercepts cocoa concealed in 1,115 gallons.
The Ghana Feed, Bernard, and the Today newspaper. Ghana Feed is dealing with Canada, Japan, and Blame Games forge ahead together for 2028 victory. Ken has been low-key doing some low-key things. And then the front page of the Today newspaper, Sam Jonah retraced political witch hunt in bank closures.
Daily analyst Ameyawe Kumfi released after being detained by NIB over botched $3 billion Sky Train project. Post December 7 appointment, government won't dismiss nurses and midwives. This is the sector minister speaking. And police raid Galamsey sites, arrest 15 suspects. The new center this morning of being Kenzo is in all the papers. VRA boss urges teamwork for greater output, address unfair trade practices, and then ICUM's missing documents pack outcry from transport sector.
Front page of the BNFT, interfaith action necessary for economic recovery, according to Apostle General Sam Kranche Ankra. GIPC CEO outlines plans to map investment opportunities across districts. And KPMG appoints Andrew Akoto as country managing partner. Bernard, over to you.
All right, let me take you online. A few updates for you here. City Newsroom, Akunfi released by BNI. So-called SHTS closed down definitely after violent clashes.
This matter.
So this is another one. Government announces activities to mark City 8th Independence Day anniversary. And then prioritize domestic bonds before external borrowing. Professor Bokmin advises government. Meanwhile, 7 Chinese, 8 Ghanaian arrested with 10 excavators near River Cobra. Now, this Galamsey story was so serious that our Enim was caught up in the crossfire. I have an interview with him coming up shortly. If you go to citynewsroom.com, the lead story there is also Emmanuel Kumfi. This time they are talking about his lawyer saying he's innocent of all charges. Meanwhile, Mohammed's comeback and economic reset and what lies ahead. Neil Latte writes. In other headlines, AGI is telling government policy reforms are key to industrial growth. And then NIB reportedly detains former NSA Deputy Director Ohini Jan. And then GES launches public survey on free SHS and double track system. All those stories and more coming up on the review this morning. Then the Galamsey operators invade Breman Adomanya Forest, attack City News' Akwesi Ajenim. He's okay. We'll interview him this morning. If you move to my Joe Online, the lead story, Parliament to start vetting Mohammed's deputy ministers today. And then immigration intercepts 115 gallons of cocoa beans, as you read earlier. Head of Financial Markets at BOG, Dr. Zakari Mumuni, nominated first deputy governor. So this is an internal one. And then Harun Adjun says Mahama inherited a sinkhole economy in distress. Oh my God.
Sinkhole plus distress.
Yeah, and then this story that's making the rounds on the BBC. India bans 2 opioids behind crisis in Ghana and other West African countries. I'll give you the details of this. Globally, the big story, there's a win for the Conservatives in Germany. And we're told that signals a new shift in transatlantic relations. The gentleman is called Friedrich Merz, and he is now the winner in the German election that took place over the weekend. Let's get into the details, gentlemen.
Okay, can start with the national security issues and galamsey. Then I will give you other stories.
That's right. So from the NIB, National Intelligence Bureau, they have released Professor Christopher Ameya-Kumfi, former board chairman of the Public Procurement Authority. Now on Sunday, Professor Ameya-Kumfi was arrested for questioning by the NIB over his alleged role in the botched $3 billion Accra SkyTrain project. Now reports indicate that Professor Kumfi allegedly authorized the release of $2 million to Africa Investor Holdings, the company behind the project, even though no work was done or initiated. Now sources close to his legal team indicate that the NIB released him after a spirited defense by his lawyers. He will, quote, he will report at the NIB offices tomorrow at 10 a.m. together with his lawyers, the sources told the Daily.
Well, our reporter interviewed the lawyer who insists that his client is innocent. This is a story on citinewsroom.com. It says that Ken Kranchi, a counsel for Professor Christopher Ameya-Kumfi, former board chair of the PPA, we're also told in other angles that he's also the board chair of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, or was. And then we're told that he was being questioned on a number of issues. Then another gentleman was also questioned, the former deputy DG of National Service. He was also questioned yesterday. We are not sure if he was released, though. He was detained by the NIB. He's in the person of Ohinijan Kweku, popularly known as Osonoba, previously served as Deputy DED of National Service Authority. Now, the other story is the Galamsey one. Galamsey operators invade Breman Adomanya Forest. Attack City News' Akwesi J. Chinese and Ghanaian-led Galamsey operators have invaded the 261-acre land in the Breman Adomanya Forest area of the Wasa-Menfi district in the western region, devastating timber trees, cocoa, rubber, and polluting the nearby River Tano. The illegal miners whose destruction is well known by police personnel in and around Asankregua. Attack City News' Akwesi Ajay Enim, who is our Western Regional correspondent, damaging his production equipment in the full glow of the police escort while filming. Enim reports that the confrontation began when journalists arrived at the site to take detailed shots of the devastated area. However, a security guard on site alerted the Galamseyers, who soon began to gather. The mob pounced on the journalists, heckling them and forcefully ending their coverage by seizing their camera microphones and Enim's microphone as he attempted to record the altercation. Despite the presence of a 4-member police team, the Galamseyers, led by one Yao Kranchi, a figure believed to have sold the land to illegal miners, continued the assault. And then basically it took the arrival of police reinforcements for the journalists to finally leave the area, but only after a promise to delete the videos of the Asangrega police station. Upon arrival at the police station, Yao Kranchi, who led the mob, was arrested by the police and the journalist statements were taken. So that's one Galamsey story. And the other one is from a place near River Cobra. The West Regional Police yesterday, over the weekend, arrested key illegal mining kingpins, including 7 Chinese and 8 Ghanaians at Ablebo and some parts of Akango near the River Cobra and the Nzima East Municipality. This forms part of the renewed fight against illegal small-scale mining, probably called Galamsey, across the country since the appointment of Kofi Boa as the Lands and Natural Resources Minister. The team also seized 10 excavators during the operation and they are being processed for prosecution. We'll give you follow-ups on this story soon.
Well, on page 30 of the Daily Graphic, the president has announced a shift in gear in the Galamsey fight. Excavator seizure replaces burning. Kester Kranchi writes that President John Dramani Mahama has announced a shift in the government's approach to combating illegal mining, also known as Galamsey. Instead of burning excavators seized from illegal mining sites, President Mahama has instructed the task force leading the fight to confiscate the equipment.
Now, Christian Council of Ghana pledges support to government's efforts to end illegal mining. The Christian Council of Ghana has pledged support to the government's efforts to combat illegal mining. Reverend Dr. Hilliard Deladogbe, the chairman of the Christian Council of Ghana, reiterated that illegal mining was worrying. Quote, we want to appeal to you strongly that you should do all within your power to make sure that we see the end of this disaster.
I'll give you 2-page stories on the back page of the Daily Graphic. Bernard, GIS intercepts cocoa beans concealed in gallons at Havi border. The Akanu Sector Command Sector Command of the Ghana Immigration Service has intercepted a truck loaded with cocoa beans being smuggled out of the country to Togo. With the support of some officers of the Ghana Revenue Authority Customs Division, the immigration officers seized the consignment concealed in 1,115 gallons found in the truck at the Havi border post. A statement confirming the operation issued by the head of the Public Affairs Unit of the GI, Superintendent Michael Amwakwata, said the operation was successful as the officers acting on intelligence waylaid the truck with registration number AS103W, driven by Ibrahim Fatal.
Now, the Sokode Senior Secondary High School has closed down after violent clashes between students and the community. Now, the Ghana Education Service in the Volta region has indefinitely closed down the Sokode Senior High Technical School. This follows violent clashes between students and residents in the Sokode community. The altercation, which began on Saturday, stemmed from ongoing disputes and led to injuries on both sides. This is becoming one too many. A journalist from Hobe Swiss FM covering the incident was severely wounded. Now, additionally, several students and community members sustained varying degrees of injury. Police and military forces were deployed to the school and the Sokode community to restore order and prevent further escalation. Now, Volta Regional GS Director Francis Yao Agbemiadi confirmed the closure, stating that the decision was made to ensure safety of students and staff while investigations are conducted. Let's come back to you, Kala.
Right, so still on education, Mohammed's education firm ploy to mutilate free SHS in Team Fodro is speaking here. Former Deputy Minister of Education has slammed the upcoming National Education Forum as a wasteful and manipulative scheme by President Mohammed's administration. He accused the government of using the forum as a smokescreen to dismantle the free SHS policy and backtrack on key campaign pledges.
Meanwhile, why don't you go to the forum and listen to what people are saying?
Precisely.
This is the national forum that's happening across the country. People are sharing their views on education. So if for nothing at all, go and hear what people are saying before you jump. Let's not.
Honestly, I would also think, even as a former education minister,
he should be interested in what they are discussing there and not playing politics like this.
Especially when some of the data they have been releasing on free SHS
have been found not to be correct.
Charlie,
what
anyway,
is this?
Let me take you to page 3 of the Daily Guide, Bernard. This story emerging from the NEIP. Management of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program has ordered all employees not to report to work starting from today until further notice. As an internal memo to the employees mentions unresolved issues related to their employment, salary payments, and some legal matters as reasons for this decision.
I have two US related stories for you. The first one has to do with Northern Ghana CSO scrambling for funds after USAID halt. Following the US government's issuance of a stop work order on USAID funding, civil society organizations in the Northern region have come together to assess its impact on communities, share their experiences, and explore alternative funding opportunities. This gathering serves as a platform to highlight their resilience and innovative responses to the challenges posed by the funding halt, with a particular focus on the way forward. Now, this directive to suspend all USAID funding has left many organizations in turmoil, leading to job losses and disruptions in critical development programs. The stop work order follows concerns about excessive spending, according to US authorities, that does not align with the interests of American people. Nearly 3 weeks into the suspension, CSOs in the region remain uncertain about what will happen after the 90-day review. Now, speaking to the ED of NORSAC, Muhammad Awal Al-Hassan, he emphasized that Northern Ghana has been the largest beneficiary of USAID funding, amounting to over $200 million. He stressed the urgent need for intervention to prevent further widening of the development gap between the northern and southern regions of the country. Some CSOs attributed the current funding freeze to previous administration's Ghana Beyond Aid policy, and then a few of them expressed concern that USAID funding might not return to its previous form, potentially having a long-term effect on Ghana's ability to attain SDGs. What the story does not do is to list the number of CSOs in the region. Still on US, the foreign minister has been summoned to come and speak on deportation of citizens from the US. So Samakula Blackwell has been summoned by Parliament to appear on Friday, February 28, to address concerns regarding the deportation of Ghanaians from the United States. This comes after lawmakers urged the government to support deportees and introduce measures to manage migration. Well, the same Reverend Johnny Tim Fodjo, MP for Asin South, expressed concern about the treatment of Ghanaians in the US, and they led the charge for the minister to come.
How he's been busy.
No, I think this is a good one he's calling for. This one is good.
Like how he's been busy.
So Reverend Fodjo says what is most distressing about these deportations is not only the scale, but the inhumane treatment of our citizens at US detention centers. He therefore called for the establishment of integration centers to support deportees who have spent most of their lives in America. This is what we expect MPs to use their space to be doing.
Bernard, the youth of Bwepe are appealing for revamp of grounded Bwepe Share Factory. Now, the youth in Bwepe in the Central Gonja district have appealed to President John Dramani Mahama to revamp the grounded Bwepe Share Factory under the produce buying company. The Bwepe Share Factory was initiated by the NDC government in 2012 to provide direct and indirect jobs for the youth of Bwepe and also to produce and sell share products within the northern sector. Now, Channel 1 News' correspondent Malik Ghazari spoke to some frustrated youth who said they are here cleaning up the abandoned and malfunctioning factory to send a signal to the government to revamp it. The potential of share and the demand for it across the sub-region is one that should make us deal with this expeditiously, Bernard.
All right. Let me give you some quick stories, Bernard, from the BNFT on page 2. Port transport unions protest illegal fees, delays at Tema Port. The Joint Association of Port Transport Unions has raised concerns over illegal fees and delays, calling on shipping lines to immediately halt the unlawful charges imposed on truck drivers when returning empty containers. Now, if you go to the Daily Graphic on page 56, a very sad story, but also a cautionary one. A soldier has been confirmed dead with 6 others severely injured in a motor accident on the Bolgatanka Boku Road. The deceased and the injured are yet to be identified. The accident occurred around 4 p.m. on Saturday. Eyewitnesses said the driver was speeding and lost control after one tire was detached, resulting in the accident.
Bernard, quickly, policy intervention is needed to sustain the use of indigenous languages in schools. Tourism Minister is asserting now. She's bemoaning the fact that many of our mother languages were at risk of decline or extinction due to globalization, urbanization, and limited use in formal education and public life. So she's called on the Education Minister to provide tools for teachers to use mother tongue in school.
In an election that's going to be consequential for relations between Europe and the US, Germany's conservatives under Friedrich Merz won Sunday's snap election with 28.5% of the vote, according to provisional results from the federal returning officer. Now, the far-right alternative for Germany was in second place with 20.8%, ahead of German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's Social Democrats in third with 16.4%. Now, what this means, and based on what the Chancellor in waiting has said, he says US is indifferent to Europe's fate. He questioned the future of NATO and demanded Europe boost its own defense quickly. I think we need a big global geopolitical conversation, Godfred.
Okay.
Between,
when you are ready.
Yeah, this because China, India, Africa, BRICS, Germany, Europe, US, a lot to talk about. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll be back with the City Business News. Stay with us.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise. This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
City Business News coming up shortly. Nashika Caesar is here. It's brought to you by MTN. Have you heard about the latest from MTN? If not, listen up. For those of you who love MTN Free After One, prepare for the upgraded experience. It's called MTN Free After One Extra. You can talk for a whole hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minute of every 10 minutes you talk, which means for every 10 minutes you talk within the hour, you only pay for the first minute. And you get to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions. To subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra, join or dial *550#. News is also brought to you by Goil, who bring you the brand new Super XP, the ideal choice for your vehicle. Fortified with special additives that give longevity to your car, makes your engine perform to the max using minimal fuel, and is suitable for most vehicles. Goil Super XP, and EcoBank is also proud to be associated with City Business News. We are sending out an alert. Beware of fraudsters who try to gain your trust and persuade you to give out personal account details. Now, bank account details can only be updated at a branch of EcoBank. The EcoBank mobile app can only be upgraded at the App Store or the Play Store. Linking your Ghana card to your EcoBank card to your EcoBank account is available at any EcoBank branch. If in doubt, call 0800 003 225 toll free.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
So Nashika is joining us with the City Business News. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goyle, and Ecobank. Nashika Caesar. Coming up, economic watchers react to President John Mahama's nomination of Dr. Zakari Mumuni as first governor of the Bank of Ghana. Also coming up, momentum in its treasury market persists as government exceeds its target by 1.9 billion Ghana cedis. And later, central banks set to extend the special dispensation on structured cocoa bonds under domestic debt exchange program. We settle for the details of our stories now. President John Mahama has nominated the head of financial markets at the Bank of Ghana BOG, Dr. Zakari Mumuni, as the first governor of the Bank of Ghana. Dr. Mumuni is a distinguished central banker and researcher known for his contributions to monetary policy and the financial markets. He is currently the director of the Financial Markets Department of the Bank of Ghana and a member of the Bank of Ghana Monetary Policy Committee with over 22 years of experience in central banking, public sector management, central banking, institutional capacity development, and macroeconomic policy analysis and management. A second deputy governor is expected to be named soon to replace Dr. Elsie Awaji, who is taking an early retirement from the central bank effective February 28, 2025. Professor Lord Mensah is an economist and finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, and he's been speaking on the appointment.
The independent is very, very important, so that at least, as a central bank, even though our constitution does not allow or does not give us enough, leeway to get an independent central bank, the individuals that are appointed should be able to stand on their own. And then also there should be kind of respect that the executive will give to the central bank. We didn't get that in the previous administration when it comes to the relationship between the executive and then those spearheading the central bank. I mean, talking about the two deputies and then also the governor himself. I mean, they compromise, they are independent. I think they gave too much respect to the executive. And that is what brought us to where we find ourselves now. And so the person who will be appointed should be able to have mind on his own. And, the finance minister of the day should have enough respect for the central bank. But the central bank is from bank for the state, and if a bank for the state cannot advise that the state is getting overboard when it comes to its debt levels, then there's a problem.
Professor Lord Mensah is an economist and finance lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School. Moving on, momentum in the treasury markets persists as investors display heightened interest in T-bills. Per data from the Bank of Ghana, the government once again exceeded its treasury bill target, surpassing it by 1.9 billion Ghana cedis and rejecting over 10 billion bids last week. Speaking in an interview with Citi Business News, economist Courage Boti noted that investor interest in short-term instruments will continue to be strong.
There is good appetite for Government of Ghana issuances, at least in this time. We've seen auctions fail in times past, even for relatively smaller sizes. And I think we've had conversations about targets above 5 billion mostly falling. There is almost always a shortfall in demand also or of sort. I mean, in times past. Now we're seeing bids in excess of 17 billion, above 10 billion, against target, significantly large target. What it means is that investor interests at the short end of the curve is strong. It means there's liquidity that is finding its way into treasury bills and all that. And that government is rejecting means that they've raised enough to meet their funding need of the period, really, and do not need to do more. Either that or it's a deliberate action to try to bring down the yield curve by signaling the market that we wouldn't take anything or everything. And you could see that in the last three auctions that the range of bids tendered at each of the auctions seems to be coming down.
Courage Poti is an economist. Now, the Bank of Ghana is set to extend the special dispensation on structured cocoa bonds and the Domestic Debt Exchange Program (DDEP), which was initially set to expire in April 2025. This is to help commercial banks that could not offload these bonds due to cocoa board's financial position and prevailing market illiquidity. There's more in this report by Daniel Ojo-Mensah.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, made this announcement during a high-level meeting with the Ghana Association of Banks, where discussions focused on critical banking sector challenges, including cash reserve ratio reforms, foreign exchange liquidity, fintech regulations, and agricultural financing. A key concern raised by banks was the impact of the current cash reserve ratio on financial intermediation and operational costs. The governor acknowledged these concerns and confirmed that a review was under consideration, though any adjustment would be implemented gradually to avoid economic instability. The commercial banks also highlighted Ghana's credit rating challenges, which have affected correspondent banking relationships, urging an upward revision of Nostro and affiliate exposure limits to ease international transactions. The governor assured stakeholders that the central bank and address these concerns. With the rapid use of fintechs and money transfer operators in the remittance market, banks raised concerns over regulatory gaps that could lead to foreign exchange losses. The governor stated that the Bank of Ghana is reviewing the operations of money transfer operators and called for greater collaboration between banks and regulators to enhance transparency and stability in the sector. The meeting also touched on the mandatory sale of foreign exchange proceeds from mining and oil companies to the Bank of Ghana, with banks arguing that allowing these funds to flow through the banking system would improve foreign exchange price discovery and enhance liquidity. The governor expressed openness to further discussions on the foreign exchange market efficiency.
That was a Business Desk report by Daniel Ojo-Mensah. Now, a former Deputy Director General of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Savannah Agricultural Research Institute, Professor Roger Manton, has raised concerns about the government's plan to establish farm banks as a strategy to boost agricultural productivity. He argues that while access to farm banks is important, it should be a fundamental provision for farmers rather than a key policy focus of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Daniel Ojo-Mensah has more in this report.
As part of efforts to modernize agriculture and enhance productivity, the government has committed to establishing farm banks in key agricultural zones. This initiative is designed to facilitate access to land, irrigation, and other essential resources while encouraging young people to take up farming. During his vetting before Parliament's Appointments Committee, Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, reaffirmed the government's commitment to this initiative.
Normally, people encounter a lot of difficulties accessing land for agricultural purposes. We want to make agriculture attractive to the youth and everybody in this country. So we will want to acquire the land, prepare the land for agricultural purposes, then hand over the land to prospective investors.
The former Deputy Director General of CSIR SARI, Professor Roger Canton, believes the government should prioritize providing high-quality seeds and fertilizers to farmers rather than focusing on farm banks.
There are more important policy issues that will enhance agricultural production, productivity, efficiency, and profitability. And this is what every government should focus on. These are back-burner issues. We're talking about farmers don't even have seeds, improved quality seeds. There is this issue of even talking of GMOs, which we don't need. I have always stood against that.
He also urged the government to ensure the availability of essential farming machinery to improve efficiency.
Most of the soils of this country are very, very acidic. And acidic soils, if you don't lime them and you apply any fertilizer, you are wasting your time. Farmers still struggle to prepare their fields. You have to wait for months or weeks to get a tractor to come to your land and prepare the fields. So tractors are important. And here I'm talking about relevant tractors.
Meanwhile, the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU, supports the Farm Bank initiative, stating that it will offer long-term benefits to farmers.
It's a good policy initiative that the minister is starting with. For a country to be food secured, it also needs to secure its lands.
That was the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU, Andrews Adoyetego, ending that report by Daniel Ojo-Mensah. Now let's have a quick market check on the currency board across some forex bureaus. The dollar is going for 15 cedis, 90 pesos. The British pound is also going for 19 cedis, 80 pesos, while the euro is selling at 16 cedis, 50 pesos. Remember that these are the rates being offered by the forex bureaus to the public. That's it for the breakfast edition of the City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and EcoBank. I'm Nashika Caesar. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great business day.
Every day, people have money emergencies. Ma, I need my school fees. Mommy chop money. Crash it. Mommy rent. Emergency. Now, there's a new emergency number in town.
More money, challenge and enjoyment. At the top life we got.
Dial *770# for money emergencies and chop life.
For emergency access to your bank accounts, transfers, utility payments, loans, and more. Dial *770#. Bank on the go even without data with EcoBank's short code for digital banking. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hey, so as for you, every day you are just pressing your phone. Why? Are they paying you?
They are, Oma. The more I use my MTN, the more points I get. And I can use those points to get airtime, data, and even discounts at shops and restaurants.
Hey, so that is why all of you are always pressing your phones. And you won't tell us, so that we too we can enjoy some.
Oh, ma.
There's always more to enjoy with MTN Rewards. Just keep talking, testing, and browsing all day, every day to collect your points and use it to redeem amazing offers and discounted freebies right away. There's so much available for you. So dial *550# and get your reward today. Let's go everywhere you go.
Kweku, have you heard what they are doing on MTN?
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Oh my God, that means I know. You do me bad, then you know. What. Miss you for my pillow. Tears we soak my pillow. Oh, wait till I do you. Where you lead me, go for a tungo. Where you lead me, go for a yeah. Where till you do me, no, baby.
13 after 7. From your bubuano to planning date nights to making the kids happy with the latest toy or ice cream. Seemingly little things, but they make great difference in creating lasting memories. Good times start at Shell, where you can fill up on more than just fuel. Fill up on love, laughter, sumptuous bites and treats from our partner vendors. Juicy chickens, filling burgers, snacks, a space to just unwind. Trust me, you will find it all at Shell. While you're enjoying yourself with your family and friends, your car can also get the love it deserves at the Shell service station and wash bay. It's one roof for everything. Visit Shell today. Shell, go well. Shell is a proud sponsor of Kickoff, which is coming your way. Also proudly brought to you by Zonda Ghana, Building Ghana, Building Ghana, Building Ghana.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Is Mo Salah here? Oh, he's got away from Gvardiol, and this is Szoboszlai, and Liverpool get their second goal. 2-0 up ahead of half-time.
And Gabby Affair joins us with kickoff on the Monday morning. Good morning, Gabby.
Yeah. Good morning, Caleb.
What's happening, man?
Yeah, I'm
I see your energy levels are up the roof.
Yeah,
Monday morning.
I'm still in the roadshow move.
That's exciting. I see you had fun.
Yeah, there was a lot of fun.
All right, let's kick off, bro.
All right, Liverpool taking another huge step towards the Premier League title with a 2-0 win at Manchester City after talisman Mohamed Salah scored the first goal and set up Dominic Szoboszlai for the second at the Etihad Stadium. That was the final game in match week 26. More reactions coming up, plus some reactions from the MTN FA Cup round of 16. We are doing this with our proud sponsors Zonda GH and Shell Go Well. I am Gabi Offer. Alright, so let's start off today's updates with some boxing. And the Ghana Boxing Federation, in partnership with the Trust Sports Emporium and with the support of the Sports Ministry, launched the inaugural Amateur Boxing League, set to begin on March 14. Now, the event was attended by Sports Minister Kofi Adams and Ghana Olympic President Bernard Avle and also other distinguished guests. And the league aims to serve as a proving ground for nurturing the next generation of boxing champions. Here's the Sports Minister Kofi Adams on the relevance of the Amateur Boxing League.
Nothing works well when the foundation is not strong. Nothing. Whatever structure you want to build, foundation is the key. That is why a patient foundation is key. Whatever structure you want to build up, if you don't organize the foundation well, later when you begin to think about doing something new things are coming up and you want to add, unless you break the whole thing. But if you take your time and strengthen the foundation, subsequently you can be adding anything and it will just move with you. So foundation is very strong. Grassroots sports. And that is what we are here today to do as far as boxing.
All right, so that's the Sports Minister Kofi Adams speaking right there. Now to some football over the weekend in the FA Cup run of 16, Accra Hearts of Oak were knocked out of the competition after a 4-3 penalty shootout defeat to Golden Cake, who are Division 1 League side, and that game was played on Sunday at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. Here is Hearts of Oak's Abubakar Ouattara.
Yes, but congratulate that team who do well to get the carrying the what do you call the qualification.
What do you think was the problem?
The problem we are playing very bad. We didn't play our game. Very, very bad. The boys are losing confidence, I think. But I will talk to them. No problem.
Will you say the break as we break the league affected your side?
Not too much. Not too much. We lose confidence when we start missing the goals and the chances, all the chances. That's the problem. We are going to talk. We are talking to them and they say, we lose Ramsey also in the first half. We get big injury. We can't continue. That's the point.
All right, Hearts of Oak out of the MTN FA Cup. They lost to Golden Cakes, a side in the Division 1 League. That's their head coach, Abubakar Ouattara, speaking after their team's exit. Also in the competition, fellow top-tier side Mediama Sporting Club also exited in the same round, falling to Park Academy, another Division 1 League outfit. In the weekend's games in the MTN FA Cup had heavy security personnel at the venues, and that's to help with the crowd control. Now to Casablanca now in Kim's last. Bjork Green, the Black Queens head coach, was at work with his squad. The Black Queens lost to Morocco by 1-0. That game was played in Casablanca. It's a preparatory game, of course, for the Queens ahead of the Women's AFCON coming up in July. Here's Kim Lass after the game.
To start with, this is the worst feeling you can have as a coach and as a player. When you work hard for almost the whole game, you deserve at least a draw result. You have the chances to actually win, and then you have a little bit unlucky in the end. The ball bouncing in their direction, and they score when there's almost nothing left. So I'm really proud of the girl. They worked hard. There haven't been so many trainings together, actually just one full training. The focus has been like to work as a group and a little bit more with the defense, to be well organized when it comes to like defense set pieces and things like that, and they did an amazing job. So yeah, just a little bit unlucky in the end, but overall I'm happy with the girls.
All right, so that's Black Queens, their head coach Kimlas Bjorkegren speaking after the 1-0 defeat to Morocco all the way in Casablanca. Well, with the men's national team, the Black Stars, Ghana will take on Chad next month in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, and that game will be played at the Accra Sports Stadium. That was confirmed on the Saturday. It's a match day 5 fixture scheduled between March 17 and 25, 2025. The Accra Sports Stadium last hosted a competitive match in November 2024 when the Black Stars suffered a 2-1 defeat to Niger in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Well, let's take you to Europe, and Liverpool tightened their grip on this season's Premier League title as they extended their lead to 11 points with a comfortable victory at Manchester City. The leaders had already seen their position strengthen. Why? Because Arsenal lost at home on Saturday to West Ham United before moving into what looks like an unassailable position with a superb display against the fallen reigning champions. Now, what does Liverpool's Arne Slot think about the performance?
If you play away at the Etihad, if you win there, it's always a big win, no matter what the league table looks like. Because if you play away from home against the Pep team, it's almost impossible to have more ball possession than his team has. So we knew we had to defend a lot, and that's what we did really well. And then some good moments in a counter-attack led to us winning the game. And the fans can sing whatever they want. I think they sing it quite long already. But we know as a team how hard we have to work for every single.
That's Liverpool's Arne Slot speaking after Hittites win over Manchester City. The magic from Mohamed Salah again. 51 goal involvement, 30 goals and 21 assists in all competitions this season for the Egyptian. City now trail the Reds by 20 points in the Premier League. It's the farthest they've been away from the top of the table at the end of a day since July 2020. Here's what Pep Guardiola thinks about their latest loss.
It's just a game, but the distance in the Premier League is the way is because we are far away from them as a reality. If you analyze the game today was, really good. I don't know. In general, we lost, so in the loss is nothing much to say, but the way we play was really good. Was tight in more in the first half, was more open, because they attacked more. The second half, they defend really well, especially in the help each other, especially amount of people in the box. And I don't know how many times we arrived to the byline since 9 years have been the target. And our teams is try to make a good high pressing to make the long balls away as quick as possible. That's happened, but the connection like Alexander Arnold, like maybe is one of the best midfield players in the world. Linking side or linking behind from Salah, which is difficult to control, but didn't happen much. We dropped them many times. I said how many times we were in the byline. That is a dream.
All right, so that's Manchester City's Pep Guardiola after his side's lost to Liverpool on Sunday. Let's talk about another interesting game at the St. James's Park. It was Alexander Isak. He scored his 50th Premier League goal as his side beat Nottingham Forest by 4 goals to 3. We hear from Isak after the game.
No, it was a brilliant first half. Obviously, I felt like we started the game good, but we conceded. But the reaction was really good after that, and we managed to score 4. And then we dropped a bit second half, conceded sloppy goals, which we have to work on. But obviously happy to win the game.
All right, so 50 Premier League goals is 19th this season for Newcastle United. That's the man, Alexander Isak. He's now the highest scoring Swedish player in the competition's history, overtaking Freddie Ljungberg, who scored 48. Now, a quick run through the games on Saturday. Everton and Manchester United played out a 2-2 draw at the Goodison Park. Arsenal missed the chance to close the gap on leaders Liverpool versus West Ham United in the 4-match winless run with a victory 1-0 win over Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Here's how Mikel Arteta feels about the latest loss to West Ham.
disappointed, obviously very angry as well. I think you have to congratulate West Ham for the victory and the game that they played, but as well I think a lot from our side that we never got right and didn't allow us to get enough momentum, enough sequences of play with positive action that could deliver into situations of threat for them. And even though all the ball that we had and 20 shots of that, I never felt that we were at the standards and the level that we needed, first of all, to have more threat and then don't to allow them to run, because we lost a lot of balls that we allowed West Ham to run in very dangerous positions.
All right, so that's Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta speaking there. Well, a brace from Marco Asensio gave Aston Villa a 2-1 win over Chelsea at the Villa Park. Brennan Johnson also scored twice as Tottenham Hotspur continued the upturn in form with victory against Ipswich Town. A quick run through what happened in the Serie A. Former Everton striker Moises Keane was taken to the hospital after appearing to pass out following an earlier blow to his head during Fiorentina's defeat by Hellas Verona. Inter Milan were 1-0 winners over Genoa, and then Como, managed by Cesc Fabregas, beat Napoli by 2-1. Fabregas worked and Antonio Conte. So it was good to see the two sides, the two men meeting again. Well, former Arsenal and Manchester United striker Robin van Persie has been appointed as Feyenoord's new head coach. The 41-year-old who retired from playing in 2019 has left fellow Dutch side Heerenveen to take charge of the club. He had 2 spells as a player. Well, that's the very latest in the world of sport. For more, you can head to citysportonline.com and on X at City Sports JH. There's more later at 5 p.m. on the Traffic Avenue. Kickoff was proudly brought to you by Zonda GH and Shall Go. I am Gabby Offer. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do take care and bye-bye.
There are some classy celebrations that calls for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra SP 020, made for premium. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Adwa, Grandma looked very peaceful. I was completely amazed when I saw her neatly presented. She looked just like she was sleeping.
You haven't seen anything yet, my brother. You should have seen the care and quality treatment they gave her at Transitions. One man, one room, just like a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
And not only that, we had a dedicated person to guide the family through the funeral planning process.
Are you sure?
Of course. From picking her up to when we lowered Grandma down, everything was completely stress-free. They had all the needed funeral services, caskets, hearse, chapel, and so much more.
This one, dear, no family fights after all.
I'm so happy we made the right decision to use Transitions.
With Transitions, your loved one gets the best of care while the family enjoys a stress-free funeral planning process. Call us now on 0302-634-706. And no, did I tell you they're affordable? Transitions, the funeral people.
Solar Tech, the power to protect. Yes! SolarTech, your tried and trusted brand, is your total solution to all power problems, whether low voltage, high voltage, power surges, spikes, brownouts, or what have you. SolarTech fully protects your valuable equipment, no matter your appliance. We have the perfect SolarTech for you. Choose from my tried and trusted range, such as Fridge Guard, TV Guard, High Volt Guard, Multi Guard, AVS 13, AVS 30, AC Guard, SolarTech TV Stab, SolarTech Fridge Stab, UPS, and SolarTech Voltage Stabilizer. Beware of counterfeit SolarTech products. Get your genuine SolarTech products today at our Abelingpe office and all our authorized dealers across the country. Contact us at number 10 Yiwa Street, Abelingpe, or call 0302-761450 or 0302-775106. SolarTech, the the power to protect.
Fly Emirates from Accra to Dubai and beyond and start your holiday on board. Enjoy complimentary food and drink. Explore up to 6,500 channels of entertainment, including live sport. Stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi and relax in comfort with world-class service all the way. You get so much more in Emirates Economy. Book your next getaway at emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Did you know that worms take away nutrients from the food you eat? Just listen to them.
Brothers, yesterday the food nice, huh?
Oh, yeah. The Choba woman there, she did try wa.
Charlie, something come on. It be food.
It did taste like banana.
Hey, make a taste some. Make me try a taste, make a taste. Hey, something is doing me.
Something is doing me too.
Oh, it be Vermox.
Vermox banana flavored dewormer is available in both suspension and tablet and is suitable for children and adults. It's good for you, bad for worms. Not recommended for children under 2 years and pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Where do your hopes and dreams take flight? The money you've earned, the future shining bright. At Petra, we're not just here for your retirement plan. We are here for the life you've imagined and then some. From your child's education to your dream home's door, we'll help you achieve what you're striving for. Petra is here, steady and strong. Your wealth in safe hands, where it belongs. With investments that grow at rates that compete, we build your future with every heartbeat. That's Petra, your partner. Come joy or strife, guiding you toward the dreams that define your life. For your pensions, investments, loans, and more, visit our website at petraonline.com or call 0242 435037. Petra, achieve more.
City 97.3. More variety.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
There was good and evil. We chose good. Why raise the time of the Most High, ye sons of men? The rich man's wealth is in the city, yeah. Destruction of the poor is his poverty, Lord. Destruction of your soul is vanity, yeah, yeah. Do you hear? I wanna rule my destiny. Yeah, I wanna rule my destiny. Whoa, destiny. Mama, look from when you call me. Destiny. Mama, look from when you call it. I wanna rule my destiny. Yeah. Oh, help I please. Jah make me rule my destiny. Lord, I've been blessed, I've been touched. I love Jah so much, they keep fighting me. I'm not giving up. May the realms of Zion fill my spiritual cup. Wisdom overstanding must never be too much. Give I protection day and night from even the pestilence that walk at that daylight. Destiny, Mama, look from when you're calling. Destiny, Mama, look from when you call it. I wanna rule my destiny. Yeah, oh, help I please. Jah make me rule my destiny. Whoa, yeah. Cast away their cards most, Lord. You have them in the region, in the valley of decision, restraining the Edens with a rod of iron. You know not the destiny of a next man, why hold him? Set him free for too long. I wanna rule my destiny.
7:34.
Monday the 24th.
Let me start this one.
Yes.
Because I'd like to send birthday wishes. Very, very, very big birthday wishes to my daughter.
Oh, today.
Today is the
8 or
birthday
9?
of... She's 10 today.
Hey, 10
today
already?
Is the 10th birthday of Kiona Rabna Sabia Kotoboafo. So happy birthday from myself, from your mother, from your grandparents, from the boy tribe. They've also sent a message, Papa Ura Brighton, and then especially Ohene. We wish you the most awesome and fantastic 10th birthday because you are part of the tribe as well. They say they love you. From your Nihao of life, Benny, from Big Mama, from Domsky, from everybody else. We love you. Today is party time.
You know what's funny? She shares a birthday with my very good friend's daughter, Tawana Abraham. So my friend Yalo's daughter. Tawana she's 8 today. Wow. So today's 24th February. Today's also a friend of happy birthday, my very good friend Zilix Dwayne, one of our most avid listeners. Indeed, one of Citi FM's most loyal listeners. Lifetime Liverpool supporter. Oh my God. I'm sure this weekend was great for you after the heroics of your team. Happy birthday to you, Zilix, for myself and the team. And to Dela Aku Kumpe, Finance Department IT Consortium. Wishing you a birthday filled with happiness and the satisfaction that comes from a year of hard work and achievement. This from Simon Piche to Delali Aku Kumpe. You are an epitome of hope, tenacity, and excellence. Happy 70th to Madame Bella Ahu. We thank God for your life. You are deeply loved from your daughters-in-law. Can you imagine? Daughters-in-law, Akosia and Edna. That's great. Bella Ahu has fed many. Good morning. Please wish my son, Chaniel Ni Okankwe, a happy birthday. And wishing an amazing woman whom I am delighted to call a sister a glorious and unforgettable birthday today, Mrs. Florence Samachuku, CEO of SAP School, Tessinungwa Estate. May your cup of blessings and goodness overflow in the name of Jesus. From Madame Cornelia Amoa, formerly of GBC, to Mrs. Florence Samachuku of SAP School, Tessinungwa, school that has kept the standard for over half a decade, from the 70s to now. And a happy 40th and a fabulous birthday to Esther Sidu of Talo Oil PLC. Welcome to the 4th floor. God order your steps from Majori Kwanzaa. Esther Sidu of Talo PLC, enjoy your day.
Also, Bernard coming in. This says, kindly wish my brother Emmanuel Amun Ketia a glorious happy birthday. I ask for good health and prosperity upon his life in Jesus' name. Amen. Mamiama Intiwan Ketia. Help me wish my wife a glorious birthday. I love her so much, and she's a particularly precious woman with adorable attitude and supports me always. My dear, will continue to grow in love and share that with the rest of the world. See you after work.
You didn't mention your name.
Yes,
you didn't mention your wife's
nothing.
name.
Okay,
you're just happy.
Okay, they know, they have spoken to each other. They know. Don't worry. So yes, Bernard, that is all.
All right, there's another one coming.
No, this is a repetition of the first.
There's another one coming here. Happy birthday to our son Eduji Kofi Bodo, Daddy, Mommy, Ceci, and Nunya. Wish you God's abundant blessings. From Ewinam and Esinam Bodo to Kofi Eduji Bodo.
A quick one. Happy birthday to Isaac Eson Adofo Jr. from his father, Reverend Isaac Eson Adofo, Chaplain, Ghana Revenue Authority. And happy birthday belated going to my elder sister Rebecca. Happy birthday to you.
And the final one, Bernard, please wish my sons Nana Kofi Ousu, Osei Ousu, and Pa Kwesi Ochiri Akomia a happy birthday. I wish them God's blessings and long life.
Who can afford to run will run, but what about those who can't? They will have to stay. Opportunity a scarce commodity. In this time I say, when mama spend her last and send you go class, never can you ever play? It's a competitive world for low budget people, spending the time while earning a nickel, with no regard to who it may tickle. My cup is full to the brim. I could go on and on, the fool has never been told. Though this life it gets me down, won't give up now, got to survive.
And while today is not a day for roads discussion, I just wanted to read this message quickly. Good morning, Bernard and team. For almost a month now, the Ponglo traffic light has not worked. Police patrol control it during the day, but in the evenings, you're on your own. It's dangerous as everyone wants to cross over, and they end up speeding to make others stay off. Last week, a friend of mine was involved in an accident there. The car was badly mangled. It was just by the grace of God that they escaped with their lives. Please talk about it for us. This is the same situation at Bawaleshi traffic light.
And also, let me just say how particularly worried residents of Dansoman are about two stretches of road that are connected. So the Western Link Road, that is from Kifet down, that takes you all the way to last stop. That road is not 3 years old, but it's completely ruined right now. I think because of the activity of these heavy trucks that have been bringing in sand to fill up the lagoon, that road, if you know it well, but now people drive on it pretty slowly in sections. It's broken off. You know, you have to sometimes veer off the entire road just to be able to navigate your way through it. So if the municipality through its drip can fix it, or the relevant relevant agency at the ministry can look at that, because it's a pretty important road, because it takes traffic off the main General Achiampong highway. Now, on the road from yesterday, for instance, I was riding my bike on the road from the Dansoman roundabout Goyle to the road that takes you to what is the Zuka Junction, Zuka Strotef, right? That's also that's the Western Link. The right takes you towards Dansoman Snit Flats. The left takes you towards Ebenezer Secondary School, Dansoman last stop, Tunga, you know. Bernard, a car was a lot of this is inner town road. People are doing 80, 90.
Well, you're supposed to do 30 and 50.
Because this road is lined up in front of people's homes. So yesterday, for instance, somebody's pet was knocked down right in front of me. The dog had just come out of the house and was playing.
People are doing 80.
Yeah, people do overtaking. That's the road in front of the Carindorf Park, Liberty Park.
Oh.
People are always overtaking. And the reason why this is concerning for residents is there are two schools on that road. Yeah. Christian Home is on that road. Yeah. Baptist, the church is also on that road. There's a play school right in front of that place as well. Conquest Chapel.
All of that in that same enclave?
It's on the same enclave.
And people are doing 90
and yet people are driving
kilometers per hour?
90. And in a lot of other places, people are the neighborhoods normally come together and then they'll just do makeshift speed ramps,
which will make the situation,
which spoils the roads.
Yeah.
So we can't say the rest. We are educating the drivers because it's a commercial road as well. You know, a lot of taxi drivers use it, a lot of trotro drivers use it, but the speeding on that stretch is so bad. It could have been a child yesterday, you know, because a child would expect that he or she can cross that road on a Sunday morning. But the speeding on a Sunday morning on that road yesterday, Bernard, and normally we need to take a close look at. So please fix that road for us.
I probably need to call it road watch.
Yes. And
because every day there's something on the road.
Bernard, the Castle Road, if I'm to get in on this, the traffic light, this is a traffic light one. So Castle Road is what you drive on when you are coming from the Holy Spirit Cathedral into Adabaka. The intersection between the Castle Road and the Kwame Nkrumah Avenue from Circle towards Accra is the last traffic light you use when you're coming to Adabaka office. I mean, it's not been working the last month, and sometimes the major one too that's facing Accra doesn't work. This morning it's both malfunctioning and it's a big problem. So I would like to draw the attention of the city.
Is that the one called the Farah Avenue?
Precisely.
So this is it's also not been working for a while.
Yes, it's not been working.
Just appealing to the authorities to come up with a system where these things will be known without we having to announce it every morning, or some sort of radar to show you the traffic situation in town. Finally,
and just on something, the BBC Eye story that caught my attention, the one of the opioids, because we've done a lot of stories that have dealt with the effects of these opioids in our system. We did the story on even the abuse of drugs amongst the health personnel themselves, and a lot of work has also been done on the abuse of some of these drugs that are coming in. I think investigations are ongoing. I saw a statement also from the Ghanaian pharmaceutical company that had been named in this, who have also explained their side of the story. So we will wait to see how this plays out. But very concerning for me as well, Bernard, is just the increase in... There's this, I don't know if people have seen it, Bernard, cough mixture thing. People are just... You would think people are suffering from coughs all over town, but apparently it has nothing to do with cough. People are just sipping the cough mixture for a high. I was shocked to hear this and see it over the weekend. So
cough mixture.
Yeah. Apparently it has codeine in it.
You haven't heard it.
And so
people are high on many things.
People are high themselves on all kinds of things in this town. So you might see somebody you think is normal. He's holding cough mixture. You think, oh, Akwedi Obowa. It has nothing to do with the cough. Yeah. The person is just chasing a high. And
what's the appropriate social response to this? Is it social welfare? Is it policing?
Well,
what's the...
My one concern would be the places where it looks like it's being publicly enabled. So like the beaches, for instance, seem to have become a place where
people get access
to these drugs
in an unfettered way.
So the people who manage our beaches, for instance, need to pay a bit more attention, because if the person is doing it in his or her house, that one I have no business there. But it seems to be something that has also come up, so let's pay attention.
All right, this morning our attention is on Galamsey. Two big stories over the weekend. One from the Nzema East area and the other from the Amenfi West area. And we'll bring you a report shortly and speak to our reporter. But quickly, before we get into that, there is a card for everyone. If you're looking for a bank card that suits your needs, any bank offers a diverse range of cards designed just for you. Whether you are looking for a credit card to help you meet pressing financial needs, a debit card to have direct access to your funds at all times, or a prepaid card to help manage your spending, we have the perfect solution. No matter what your needs may be, there is a Zenith card for you. Zenith Bank, the bank for all, here for you. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. And Affinity has a new app that makes banking easier. It sets it apart because there's no costs involved. Whether you're starting something new, managing your finances, or just getting through the day, they are here to make things much easier for you. Dial *229# to get the app, or check out affinityghana.com. Because with Affinity, there's no extra charges sneaking in to delve into your savings. No monthly fees, no transaction fees. That's Affinity. And Volkswagen want to be part of every moment of your life, whether you're starting a family meeting, at a social gathering, or responding to an emergency. Our new Terramont will carry all the special moments in its renowned spacious 7-seater. It has a 3.6-litre V6 petrol engine producing maximum power of about 280 horsepower. It's selling at 712,000 series. We also have the Virtus, the T-Cross, the T1 All-Space, the Terramont, and the Amarok pickup. Call or WhatsApp 025-795-6688. Volkswagen, Rise and Thrive.
Now it's time to maximize and grow your business exponentially. Just ask me how. Would you Busiame? If you're a shop owner, seamstress, trader, mechanic, or artisan, pay attention. If you're also a hotel or hospital owner, this is for you. But if you have a phone, a TV, a car, a house, or any property you want to sell, this is for you as well. Bisame app is here to help you connect to your customers. You need to register your business, reach more customers, and watch your sales soar. With the Bisame app, your security is assured. Just locate the item you want to buy from any social media platform. Inform Bisame. Seller is called to bring the item to the office for inspection before you make payment, and then the item is shipped to you wherever you are. With our in-app video calls, Bisame app gives you more safety. Download Bisame app on the Google Play Store or the App Store today and unlock endless possibilities. Grow your business, connect with customers, and enjoy success with ease. When was the last time you dewormed? It's highly recommended that you deworm frequently. That's where Vemox comes in. The new Vemox banana flavored dewormer from Johnson & Johnson gets rid of worms. It is available in both tablet and suspensions and is suitable for both children and adults. Vemox banana flavored dewormer is good for you, bad for worms. For more information, call 055-631-9624 now. It's not recommended for children under 2 years and pregnant women. Is an advert that's FDA approved. And then if you're looking for litigation-free land, please contact Royal Kingdom Estate. They specialize in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and so much more. You find them in prime areas, Accra and Ebri. They have land starting at 90,000 cedis, and they offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms and premium furnished apartments for short rentals in East Airport are available. They are at Cantonment. Find them opposite Soul Clinic International School. The number is 055-755-909 or 0272-77-880. Email info@Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams.
Galamsey is not left us. It's getting more and more serious. We have a report for you. Chinese and Ghanaian-led Galamsey operators invaded a 261-acre land at Breman Adomanya Forest of the Wasa-Memphis West District in Western Region, destroying trees, cocoa, rubber farms, and polluting the River Tano. The Galamseyers, whose destruction is well known by police personnel in the area, also attacked City TV's Akwesi Ajay Nim, who was working with the police while filming some of the devastation. Here's a report.
This is Adumanya Forest, a forest that is actually growing most of the trees that we cut for export for our foreign exchange. And as we speak right now, the devastation being caused by Galamsey activities here in the Wasa-Memphis district of the Western Region is hampering, or should I say, reducing or depleting the forest that we have here at the Dumenya community. And as you can see over here, this is illegal small-scale mining, which is actually basically taking away most of the forest reserve over here. I'm told that the activities of Galamsey over here hasn't only cut down or brought down the trees we have over here, but rubber plantations that we have within the catchment of this very 261-acre plot of land have all been destroyed, including other farming activities like cocoa that have been lost to this Galamsey. And look here, you can see some of the illegal small-scale mining equipment that they use in washing the gold over here being left here. Looking around, you see most of the activities over here or the earthworks that have been done are all looking very fresh, and it's a clear case that they got wind of the fact that we are actually coming here, and so they decided to move most of their tracks. But the earthworks that have been done here are all looking very much fresh. And lucky for us, we have one of the aggrieved owners of this very plot of land that have been so much depleted here in the Wasa-Memphis district of the Western Region, particularly in the community called Edumenya, and to tell us, what for him has been the trend in terms of the activities of illegal small-scale mining over here and the damage that they are actually causing.
The Ekoso Adumenya asase susisia no eya dia eye adepapa kra Galamsey for ase asase no nya koko e wo so enua e wo so timba ne bibia wo so bia ne banche niema e wo so bia nsu e wo so nyina no Galamsey for ase ne nyina ya ka report omuntie etino epsrese aban wo so onfa nani mehwe ahemfo mo ha eni mpanfo bi wo ha ne ya ka omuntie ye ba ha pe ne omo tututuo na omo de nsekan toa so mbekua ye sre omo pa da ben na eni Beijing company any omo kan nyina no omo stop Galamsey adwuma na omo ye na ha no ayesra ban se ontu ho na o minister ya yiu ampa NDC ye nyina ye to aba wa ha se asomdwemla Galamsey no enko we the same minister said omo modna entua na mo sisi amfa soja fo megu ha anyesa Galamsey say ye niema nyina ye nsuo ye bibia wa ha.
Another native, Richard Joe Beche, shed light on the extent of devastation, stressing how police in the area have failed to intervene in the illegal mining operations.
I'm a principal member of Adumanya land. When the galamsey started, we approached the police people that they should come in. We even wrote to them that they should come in so that they will come and stop the illegal mining. But upon all our effort, it couldn't work. I quite remember we once went to the commander. The commander said, she cannot come and stop them. He said he cannot come and stop them. I said, when you look at the way they're devastating the land, it's so terrible. But upon all the effort that we made, they said the land is in the hand of Benji company, and one Ibrahim. And here too was sold to the Bernard company, of which they are destroying the land. Look at the trees. They've destroyed all the trees. There's River Tano here. River Tano is just close to where they are degrading the land. They are doing the galamsey. They polluted all the water. We are telling the Minister for Land that he should come in so that he will come and stop the illegal mining that is going on at Adumanya land.
What you see here are some of the equipment that are still on site doing the destruction, and these two excavators, as you can see over there, is being manned by a Chinese man whom I'm told is one of the operators. We'll try to get closer to listen to him if he has also something to say to us in terms of the operations that they are doing over here. What I can see now is that I think he's trying to fix the excavator, but I mean generally these are some of the equipment that they are using to devastate the Adumanya forest, where several cocoa farms and rubber plantations have been destroyed by this Chinese-led company that is actually doing a devastation over here. I mean, if the cameraman can actually get close to him, let's see that these are some of the people who are destroying our forest reserves over here, and this is something that is actually coming as a worry to people. And look here, we see the river tunnel also very much close to where the devastation is going on. You can see that the water body over there, I'm told, is the river tunnel here in the Adumanya area of the Amanfi West district of the Western region, which has also been so much polluted by come. I think the police officers over here are calling. They are trying to speak to the Chinese operators over here. If the cameraman can actually get close to them, let's see what they are actually doing with them. Yeah. Hi. Can we talk to you? Can we talk to you? Officer, can we talk to you? What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
We for engineer, man.
You are engineer.
Yeah, for my office.
You are the engineer.
Yeah.
Which office?
What?
Which office? Office.
Future.
Okay. So what do you do over here? What do they do over here?
Yeah, Oscar Vida's boy. Somebody talk about check Oscar Vida.
Okay, what can you also tell me?
Yeah.
What do you do over here?
This one,
I think that's an issue of Chinese and their usual language barrier, which they will tell you they don't really understand you. But I mean, as we speak right now, these Chinese, I'm told, are the ones fixing some of the broken down excavators that is actually doing the devastation over here. And that is a clear case of these foreigners leading some of this devastation that we see when it comes to the depletion of our forest reserves here in the Western region. And the activities has so much impacted on our water bodies that is causing a lot of difficulties with people having to struggle to even get water to drink or use in their household. And we'll get closer to the plot of the devastation going over there to see the impact of it on water bodies. While attempting to capture more detailed shots of the destroyed cocoa farms and the heavily polluted Tano River, a mob of galamseyers, alerted by a security guard on site, swarmed the news crew. The attackers forcefully seized cameras, microphones, and mobile phones. Despite the presence of a 4-member police escort, the galamseyers, led by one Yakwanche, believed to have sold the land to the miners, heckled the team, insulted them, and even used his pickup truck to block their exit. The team was only allowed to leave after 7 p.m. following police reinforcement. However, the galamseyers demanded the deletion of all footage before permitting their departure. The standoff continued until the team reached the Asankregua District Police Station, where fortunately Yakwanche was arrested and official statements were taken. As we speak, the devastation actually continues, and until government actually details the rights, enforcement team to come here at the Adumenya forest area where 261 acres have actually been destroyed by galamsey activities. The devastation of the forests over here, the cocoa farms, and even rubber plantation, as well as the river tunnel in the catchment of this area, will continue to persist. For Channel 1 TV News, I'm Akwesi Jenim, Edumenya in the Wasa Menfi, district of the Western region.
So that was Akwesi Jenim. We'll speak to him shortly. Time check is 8:08. Time for tech and social media trends. It's brought to us by
Tech and Social Media Trends is brought to us by Telecel and First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana says if you're sending money to Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, it's very easy through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement Systems PAPS. You can send and receive money to and from any of these countries for business and personal reasons. You will need to visit any First Bank Ghana branch nationwide with your cash, and your money is transferred in no time. To receive money, you will need a First Bank Ghana account. This is how we put you first. Call us kindly and find out more about the PAPS. 0596 921 921 is the number. Now, if you're looking for the best value data and voice offers that are tailored to your unique needs, Telecel, we understand everyone has their own preference. That's why we have the unbeatable Made For Me bundles made just for you. The Made For Me bundles are affordable, customized data and voice packages personalized for you. Simply dial *530# or download the Telecel Play app to subscribe to your special Made For Me bundle. Telecel, connecting energies.
Susu Graham is here with the segment. Good morning, Susu.
Good morning.
What is the trend for the morning?
You know, as it is another big weekend of football, and of course the football is in the trends.
Mm.
So we have Liverpool #1, Man City, Liverpool, Mo Salah and Jeremy Doku. So we'll start with that match. So Jeremy Doku is trending because he completed 13 dribbles in the game.
Wow.
Most of them against Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was the first player since 2016 to be dribbled past 10 times in a game. So yeah, he had a very tough game defensively, but his team got the result, so it didn't matter. So other people who were also trending was Luka Modric. He scored a wonder goal for Real Madrid against Girona. So Arsenal also trending.
It's pronounced Girona.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's not Girona.
I believe there's a difference. You know, it's a different. I have to assume.
This is Spanish, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming that, you know, if there was a Spanish speaker here, maybe they'll correct me, but I'll just assume it's Girona.
Okay.
So Arsenal also trending naturally because it's almost like their title race is over. And Napoli are trending because they lost to Cesc Fabregas' Como. So Cesc Fabregas is head coach of Como. They are not a team you expect to do big things, but they were able to beat Napoli, who are top of the table. So Napoli are trending.
So it's almost like the same situation. Inter then gets an advantage over Napoli.
Exactly. So a lot of things are trending. And another thing that's trending, so for those of us, my age, we have a show we used to watch called Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Okay.
And The Legend of Korra. So Avatar, they announced a new TV show and they gave a synopsis of the new TV show. So the previous avatars are trending. So Avatar Aang is trending, Avatar Korra is trending, and some other characters from the show are trending, like Azula, Ozai, and Amon. So
I'm confused.
The show is on Netflix, so maybe you should ask your kids about it, or you can get them to watch it. So
Avatar Mini Ula.
Avatar Ang and Avatar Korra.
My God.
Yeah, so that's trending. So it just shows that they stay in power of the show, because it's a very old show. Came out many years ago.
Very old show.
It's quite old. I mean, for me, it's old. It's something that came out in my childhood.
And I've not even watched one.
And the fact is trending. So, I mean, that's why I said it's on Netflix.
Now, some of us are beyond old.
Yeah, that's why I said.
If it's an old show that some of us have been seeing.
That's why I said it's on Netflix.
Hey.
You can also.
It's on the phone.
You can. What's it? You can watch on Netflix and let us know what you think. Yes, Avatar, The Last Airbender. So that's trending.
So those are the trends.
Yes, and then in tech news, so I just wanted to find the year Avatar was released, just to give you some.
I suspect around 2012ish.
No, 2005 to 2008.
Oh Lord.
And can you imagine, a new series has been announced and it's still trending? So that should show you that it has.
I haven't just followed it.
Yeah, no.
It's not my cup of tea.
That's why I've introduced you. So now it's your chance. It's your chance. So, in tech news, the biggest heist in crypto history happened over the weekend.
Really?
Yes. So, Bybit, I believe that's the name. I just want to check that again. Yes. Bybit, the crypto exchange, lost $1.5 billion.
Huh?
Yes, because they were hacked.
Oh Lord.
And the hackers transferred $1.5 billion to a wallet, and the wallet can be traced. And these are the issues that come with crypto.
1.5
billion.
How do you launder 1.5 billion and wallet can be traced?
Well, that's crypto for you.
Hey,
and
it just disappeared.
So that's why crypto, because of the lack of regulation and stuff, people now, some people believe in it because the government can't touch your money. If your money is secure, it can, so once you have access to the wallet, you can transfer.
But I thought you talked of a shared ledger and all those nice things. So how does somebody transfer 1.5 billion?
But once the money starts moving,
and then the money disappears.
Yeah, so 1.5 billion is missing. So they've hired the top cybersecurity experts in the world to try and help them get their money back. So 1.5 billion has just disappeared. But they said they have 20 billion in customer assets, so they will be able to cover the 1.5 billion shortfall.
I don't get it. Yeah. This is just one day.
Yes, 1.5 billion. So that's the biggest tech. But there's still some other tech news we can talk about.
Tell me.
That the one is Australia has fined Telegram. So I know a lot of us know Telegram, the messaging app.
Yeah.
So the issue with Telegram is, again, another decentralized encrypted app. It's being used criminals have been known to use Telegram. So one of the issues has been videos that are not appropriate, especially of children, are being shared on Telegram. So Australia has asked Telegram for some questions about their platform, how they can make it safer and how they can safeguard people. And Telegram seems to be delaying.
Okay.
So Australia has fined them.
So let me just get this straight. WhatsApp, I know, doesn't have the degree of security and encryption that makes it protects you from surveillance.
Yes.
So I know people who prefer Telegram.
Signal.
Now I'm told Signal is much better.
Yeah.
So in terms of encryption and security, Signal will be probably the best.
Yes.
Followed then by Telegram.
Yes.
So WhatsApp ain't secure.
No, I think it's they have end-to-end encryption. I'm not in this, but what I understand is because Telegram has become a hub of criminality. I think because
people are also moving.
Because of WhatsApp, the things you need to sign up, and it's linked to Facebook and that kind of stuff. Because Facebook are very willing to share your data, but I don't think Telegram worked that way. And if you remember, the Telegram owner was arrested a few months ago, again because of some of these issues. He was asked to release user data and he refused.
So you think I should move to Signal?
Oh, the cybersecurity people say so. Unless you are doing sensitive work, then you move to Signal. Oh, but as far as if you are doing day-to-day communication, I think WhatsApp is still fine. Yes.
Okay. Well.
So yeah.
All right, Susu, with that one, a lot to think about. 8 minutes past 8. That was taking social media trends.
There are many reasons to connect, and it's all to put smiles on the faces of those you love.
Daddy, thanks for the tea cash, okay? I love you.
That's my daughter, Angela. Caring for my parents, that's my duty. I also get to pay my utility bills easily with Telecel Cash. And to the suppliers at my shop,
hello sir, Telecel Cash payment received right on time. Thank you.
I get to make them smile because I can pay to my suppliers' merchant numbers, even on other networks directly, and send Telecel Cash for free to my dear ones.
We keep the connection stronger when our family, friends, and business relations are happy. Make free Telecel Cash transactions every day, anytime, from your Telecel Cash wallet to your loved one's Telecel Cash wallet. Save on cash, enjoy convenience, and make those who matter smile when you send them money with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
You're looking for a bank to rely on?
Let me give you a shoulder to lie on. Wouldn't we sick out to banky baby? No lie, only one place where I get my eye on. Make I introduce you all to First Bank, the best services in the world, first rank. Customer service, everything is well planned. I make music, I travel, I sell land. They be my reserve tank. Cause every time I know my money's safe. Universal banking ain't in me here on the date. I'm a busy person, me no need time to wait. Now I got to Spain, even when I'm in the States. My me blue shirt. They tell me office a chilly, but who cares? Cause I bank with the best. I'm lucky, I'm too blessed. When it comes to First Bank, it's too west. Everything is you first.
Nobody feed do I'm like us. Do I'm like us. First Bank we treat you first. Treat you first. Somebody see yeah. Think about you first. Think about you first.
You first. First Bank.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This year, something magical is happening. A celebration of tradition, flavor, and community. Welcome to the Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025.
Taste the heart of your heritage with mouth-watering dishes from across the country like Ademe with akple, Tozafi with ayoyo soup, kokonte, apopranta, rare kwine, and many more. From rich spices to sweet treats, it's a journey for your senses. We're taking you back to your village.
Oh yes, let's recreate our age-old recipes.
But it's not just about food, you know. We're celebrating culture, connecting with family, and making memories that last a lifetime.
This March, let's come together and discover the flavors that make us who we are. The date is 29th and 30th of March 2025. The venue, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and the time is 10 a.m. through till 6 p.m. each day.
The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025, where food, fun, and tradition meet. See you there.
Interested vendors should call 0558-973-973 or 0205-973-973 to register. The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM.
I'm gonna lie. What are you doing to me? No check that one. I'm funny. I am a nigga home. Who got that in them? I'm what you put in
Yafinia gave us the vibe. Now, Insurance Chile makes you thrive.
Yes, so it's time to enjoy, Charlie. Buy or renew your motor insurance and boom! Free work bonds and airtime for your sweat. Who no like enjoyment?
From January to June 2025, Enterprise Insurance gives you more reasons to smile on the road. Insure today and enjoy free fuel coupons for your car and airtime for your phone.
Free fuel? Airtime too? Enterprise Insurance, always your advantage.
Insure not Chile. It's simple. Insure and enjoy. Ready to secure your peace of mind and experience the fastest claims payment? Visit any of our branches or agency outlets nationwide. Connect with your insurance broker or enjoy the convenience of buying your insurance online through the Enterprise Advantage app today. Terms and conditions apply.
Enterprise, your advantage.
He's here, Uncle.
Oh, you man, look at you, all grown up, innit? So good to see you, fam. I miss you so much. So good to be back home, bruv, innit? I can see a lot has changed, mate. Home sweet home, innit?
Sit down and let me serve you something delicious.
The food is looking good, fam.
Of course, some things never change. Just like how Gino tomato mix still gives my food that rich color and unique natural taste every time.
Hey, sister. Papupun sanwan kasa. Just like I remember. Inquire. Jollof ne die. Jaika. Eye danka sankasa.
Hey, ente dwane na ma ukasa na sisa sisi.
Say Gino die. Efie ni fie.
This advert is FDA approved.
Fly Emirates from Accra to Dubai and beyond and start your holiday on board. Enjoy complimentary food and drink. Explore up to 6,500 channels of entertainment, including live sport. Stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi and relax in comfort with world-class service all the way. You get so much more in Emirates Economy. Book your next getaway at emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Ajwa, Mr. Atu and the family will be visiting us today.
Really? But who is picking them up?
Oh, I've asked Yao Taxi to go get them. But do you know he got a new car after the accident?
Eh? How? Within a week?
Yes, oh. I'm told he insured his car with Suno Assurances.
Suno? I heard my boss discussing them in the office. But we also insure. Yes, please come in. Oh, Mr. Ato, you're welcome.
Guys, I overheard you talk about insurance.
Yes, so Kwame was talking about how the taxi driver got
When it comes to insurance, you need a reliable partner, and that's Suno Assurances. I have been with them all these years, and they always come to my rescue. Look, they have packages as motor, marine insurance, and other policies, and they are even running a promo that comes with a lot of souvenirs.
Guys, then let's all go to the office now.
Hey, Adwa, take your time.
Let's go.
All you need is to either call them or send them a message on 055-257-1980. With Sunu, you can be rest assured that your future is assured. Buy insurance now.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Check away, say move front, stand up back, and wine and madame. So jagela, so pressure, what the queen the rest of queen, yeah. Came my yappy, but yeah, soon the chant and a man, share. No, Trama can say, Name Moody and wash it. Trame Buddha, Name Moody and more than it. Trame Fijaman does you, come in me more there. Budo ya. Nana nyamina betchere Mine uba gura kabre Atra yas jamansai Yando ya Nana nyamina betchere
60 minutes past 8. The Citi Breakfast Show today has Tech Monday at 9 a.m. and our topic today is addressing out of school challenge, bringing learning to marginalized communities. I'll be hosting an Anami skilled planning, development and management of education professional, Richard Dodu, CEO and lead AI researcher at Meta School AI, and Joanna Egan, a professional licensed educator. So we'll spend some time knowing who the panelists are and discussing the transformative role of AI-driven learning platforms in bridging educational gaps for marginalized communities as we seek to address the out-of-school challenge. Before that, we're going back to the Western region shortly to discuss this devastation of galamsey in Zima East and Awasa Menfi West in the news. Our correspondent caught in the crossfire. But times are hard. You need a reliable partner that will come to your aid without fail. Do you need an insurance that can be trusted? Don't look far. Reach out to Suno Assurances for your insurance. Call 055-257-1980 or visit their EasySure platforms to buy insurance through WhatsApp and Telegram, or just say hi to 055-257-1980. Suno Assurance, you pick your way, we take the risk.
Next time you fly from Accra, why don't you fly better with Emirates? In Emirates Economy, you can enjoy endless entertainment on board with up to 6,500 channels to choose from. Yep, you heard that right. Sit back, relax, and then watch the latest Hollywood and Bollywood blockbusters, comedy box sets, or even live sports. You can even stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi, so you can chat with your friends and family and share holiday selfies from 40,000 feet above sea level. You get so much more in Emirates Economy. Enjoy more convenience and flexibility to over 140 destinations within the Emirates Global Network. Find out more at emirates.com. The enjoyment is real. From January to June this year, Enterprise Insurance is giving you more reasons to smile on the road. Buy or renew your existing motor insurance policy and enjoy amazing rewards, free fuel coupons for your car, and airtime for your phone. It's that simple. Insure naturally. We have over 100 years of trusted experience. We're here to secure your peace of mind. Visit any of our branches, connect with your insurance agent or broker. Use the Enterprise Advantage app for convenience and enjoy free fuel coupons and airtime instantly when you buy or renew your motor insurance. Insurance. Enterprise Insurance is rated AAA by the GCR for financial strength and claims paying ability. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise, your advantage.
And financial freedom, peace of mind, smooth retirement planning are nice phrases to hear, right? Well, at Old Mutual, they are not just mere phrases, they form the DNA of our very being. So whether it's making sure your child's education is taken care of when you're no more, insuring lives, or saving to start a business or preparing for retirement, Old Mutual is that insurance company that cares for what truly matters to you most, being that certain friend in uncertain times. Join us, 0307 000 That's the number to call, 0307 000 or visit oldmutual.com.gh for more information. All right, so let's go back to Galamsey. Akwesi Ajayi Nim was caught up in this very serious Galamsey attack where Galamsey operators invaded the Breman Adumanya forest in the Wasa Menfi West District in the Western region, destroying timber, cocoa, rubber, and polluting the River Tano. And we are told their work is known to the police. And indeed, this team of journalists was with the police when this happened. We would also talk about another place where Galamsey occurred in the same region, this time in the Nzima East municipality, where about 7 or 8 Chinese were involved. Akwesi, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard.
Wow, thanks so much. I hope you are well this morning.
Bernard, I'm okay.
Wonderful. Okay. When did the incident occur at this Breman Adumanya forest?
This was on Friday in the evening, after 5 p.m.
I see. So just give me the background. Who were you with, and how did you get to the place, and what were you doing before the people came to attack you?
Okay, so Bernard, as you already know, I mean, with a renewed fight against Galamsey, as journalists, we all have responsibility to put a spotlight on whether the fight is actually genuinely being fought. And so we've been looking at places that we know are Galamsey prone areas to see whether some arrest or the practice is actually going on. And so we're putting our ears on the ground. Thankfully, and we also depend on informants, just like the police depend on information from the public. So I got information. This time it was from a colleague journalist who told me that there's this victim of Galamsey who has been calling for help for journalists to go to see the level of devastation going on at the place. So he told me that the guy will call me, and I think after 2 hours, the gentleman called me, introduced himself as one Beche, Isaac Beche from Adumanya in the Ahantawa district. This was Thursday. And so I asked him that we need to have evidence of distraction before we can go. I needed something to show. So I asked him if he has pictures. And through the gentleman who called me earlier, he sent me pictures of the devastation. I said, okay, fine, this is the story. So follow it up. I prompted my immediate boss that this is something happening. So we want to go and check it. And so on the morning of Friday, in fact, I was not the only journalist. There was a reporter from Peace FM and one from Angel FM and Angel TV. So we went in one vehicle, but I also insisted on security guarantee, and he promised us that he's actually arranging for the security to escort us from Takwa. And I asked him why. From what I gathered from him, he seemed not to be so much, interested in taking security from the immediate catchment. And his point was that it seems the security, according to the security, have been sort of influenced over there. So they wouldn't act. He's been calling on them severally, and they don't respond to his call. So he came all the way to Takwa. So we actually drove from Takwa on the morning of Friday into the Takwa Central Police Station in Takwa, where we met him, and he was there talking to some people in there. He later came back to tell us that we should move to Bogoso because the police say they've assigned a team of security people at Takwa, at Bogoso to beat us. So we moved to Bogoso. We got to Bogoso. He met some security guys, and then the guys checking out. They didn't go with us. And he told us that it's because of some money issues and all that. And so I told him that we wouldn't go to the site without a security. And then he assured us that we'll go there and then go to the police station in Asankregua, which is not far from the Adomenya site where we are to visit. And so we got there, because of the delay with police arrangements, we got to Asankregua a little after 3 p.m. And straight we went to meet the district police commander, one Yaboa Nori, DSP Yaboa Ntori. Lucky for me, he knew me. He told me that he knew me from Shama when I used to do stories on clay mining, and he was then the district commander of police. So I felt a bit comfortable. But he was not willing to give our security people to go to the place because he said there should be an order from above. Because the guy had also told him that it was the national security that he was dealing with. And he said he hadn't received any information from the national security. Then I came in to request that, I'm a journalist. I'm here to do a society relevant story, and I need security. So he agreed and detailed 4 or 5 police officers in one of their saloon cars to lead us to the site. We got to the site a little after 4 p.m. And with my own readings of the situation, I didn't feel comfortable. So I said, no, let me quickly do something and get out of the place. So I started my shoot, I did few pieces to camera. And then when we were about approaching, we met one guy wearing a military uniform, a macho guy, military uniform, whom I later got to know that he's a security guy at the place. When we were actually entering the site, we saw some of the trucks leaving. And what I gathered was that whilst they were delaying us, people were being informed to move their equipment from the site before we even got there. So we met at excavators on our way into the forest. And so when we got there, we only met 2 excavators and some of their washing machines, their gallons. You could see fresh things over there. And then we did our shoot. So after talking to some Chinese people that I met fixing 2 of the excavators, I decided to move to where the Tano River had been so much polluted. And I saw a lot of guys coming from town. The security guy called the galamseyers to come. They came, overpowered our security, and then confiscated, tried to take the camera from a cameraman, and he ran to the police, gave the camera to the police, and then they pounced on the police. They struggled with them, took the camera. Whilst they were doing that, I said, no, we need to get evidence. So I took my camera, my phone from my pocket to record them. Then they came to me. They struggled with me. Finally, they managed to take the phone from me. And then they said we have to delete the pictures before we leave. I refused. And whilst we were doing back and forth, the police called for reinforcement. And this was after 6:30. Darkness had already set in. So the reinforcement came. What I gathered was that the police officers knew the guys. So they had that cordial kind of relationship with them. They managed to talk them out that, okay, I told them that I only delete the pictures after we get to the center of the police, Asankregua police station. And so they convinced the team, and we got to the police station. And when we got there, the police then managed to arrest the team leader and one other person. And then, but that is what actually transpired on the Friday.
Wow. So this was what a good 2 hours.
Yes, we left there around 11 p.m. Go back to Accra Day, almost 2 a.m. the next day. That is Saturday, 2 a.m.
And this was a distress call from the owner of the concession who had invited you and other journalists to come and report on what was happening to his land.
Yes.
And when you got there, the person who called the community people, is he the ringleader of the galamseyers, or is he just a security man of the company doing it?
This is one of the macho security guys they have on the site. We met him wearing a trowel, a military camouflage trowel. And we saw he was a bit agitated. I asked him if he has anything to say. We can record whatever that he has to say. And he said he wouldn't say anything. And before we realized, he had called his people.
Did you find out how these miners got to this land? Because as you are saying, the owner of the land called the media to come and cover this. So is it that they are taking the land by force, or he sold it to them, or how did the galamseyers get on the site?
Okay, so Bernard, this is what I gathered. there are two companies operating on this plot of land. The first company is called Tabena Mining Company. And then just adjacent to it is one operated by Chinese called Ebejin Mining Company. They are neighbors doing serious devastation of the place. And what I gathered was that the team that came to attack us, their ringleader called Wan Yao Crunchy, comes from a family. I mean, he's in the same family with this guy who came to call us. And there's a tussle over the land. But that side of the family sold the land to the people to operate. And so the person believed to have sold the land to these two companies came together. We came with the mining, the galamseyers who came to attack us. I did my check later with the Minerals Commission. In fact, I called the Regional Minerals Commission whether they know these two mining companies, whether they are registered and whether they have permit to. The regional commander, the regional mining Minerals Commission officer called Francis Anobe told me that he doesn't have information on it, but I should reach out to the district officer, one Clement Ajoza. According to him, their structure is that the district officers who are in charge of small-scale mining, they don't report to the regional office. The regional office only manages large-scale mining companies, and the small-scale managers report straight to a desk in Accra. So I insisted on getting a contact. He gave me two contacts. I got one of them, that is a Clement Ajoza, who refused to talk to me. He said I should rather go to Accra and get that information. I asked him whether he's in his monitoring, whether he's come across these two operators, because he is the officer in charge of Asankregwa, and Asankregwa is just some few hours drive to the site. That's our Dominion Forest area. He refused.
So local officials of the Mineral Commission did not cooperate with journalists investigating this matter. Now, can you confirm if this concession is within the forest?
That is what they call it. The person I asked him is, in fact, it's a forest. It looks forest. What I know is that it's a forest, and this company, Samaboy Timber Firm, that popular timber firm, they've actually invested in planting trees, which they will later cut. But there was a tussle between them and the landowners, so the landowners took over the land, and so all the trees on it, very mature trees, are now in the hands of the family. But the trees are not being cut for sale. They are being destroyed by.
And what type of plants and trees are we talking about in this forest?
Then I must say, with the rush work and the fact that we couldn't even really spend time over there, all this information we didn't really manage to get. But I mean, for the footage, you could see there's a forest. In fact, in the night we left the site, the guys blocked our way out of the plant by blocking. I mean, they blocked it with their Tundra vehicle. They won't let us open. And this was a deep forest. I must confess, a deep forest. It was that dark before. I mean, we paid later money to get them to move their vehicle for us.
From your story, there was a river close to this forest. Can you confirm this is the River Tano?
This is the River Tano. I was told. The River Tano. It was the very one we took shot from it. I mean, of it from afar, and we wanted to get close. It was when we were approaching it that the attack came.
All right. So this is Wasa Amenfi West. Prior to this, you had filed another story that 7 Chinese and 8 Ghanaian galamseyers had been arrested with 10 excavators near River Nkobra in the Nzuma East Municipality. So when did this happen, and can you give us the details?
This actually happened on Friday morning when I came back, and this one happened at Akango, a community called Akango, and then another sister community called Ablebo, all in the Nzuma East municipality, or the Evaluadra constituency. And over the 7 Chinese, as you said, and 8 Ghanaians were arrested, and they were operating very deep in an environment close to the Nkobra River, and most of the residue actually finds its way to the Nkobra River. And so the Western Regional Police Command mounted a swoop, and they arrested them. Today is Monday. We are hoping they will take them took off since the operation was over the weekend.
So generally, how often do you hear of such galamsey activities, and what has the sector minister done since he took over in the region?
Well, what I've gathered is that all these soups that we are seeing is as a result of a directive by the sector minister. Today, I understand he's moving to Ashanti region on some of this operation. Prior to the election, we weren't seeing much of this soup, but from February coming, we've seen. Don't forget, last week there was also another soup by the National Security along the Pra River, where 3 Chinese, a community called Supum Dunkwao. And then on Thursday or Friday, Thursday or Wednesday, I have to check my dates. There was a soup by the National Security where 3 Chinese and 1 Ghanaian were also arrested and were brought to the the Western Regional Police Command in Sekondi. And so I would say that we are seeing some action on the ground in terms of the fight against galamsey. But what I've observed is the fact that it is very much dangerous to go to the grounds there, because the people that we know they are regulating, the security people, the minerals competition officers, they are not cooperative. They don't seem to be that tough on this. And the behavior we saw at the mining sites shows how they don't fear these people. They don't fear these people. They could do anything in front of police. They know the police can't do anything to them. And the question is, why? Why that lack of fear of the security agencies? And that is what we have to explore.
Did you need to go to a hospital after the incident? Are you sure you are okay?
Bernard, I'm okay. In fact, the police offered to give us a medical form, but frankly, I wasn't going to be able to spend any extra minutes after 11 p.m. around that area. I just wanted to make sure that I'm out of that vicinity, because I was really afraid that even this security police, these galamseyers, could detail people on our way to Bordia, which is on the main Takwa-Bogosu road. I just wanted to get out of the catchment of the place. So we didn't take the medical form. We just came to Takwa and got here a little before 2 a.m.
Thank you for your report. Akwesi Ajay is our Western Regional correspondent, reporting on very disturbing issue that happened, where covering mining activities in the Breman Adomanya forest in Wasa Memfi West, a 261-acre land. They went with 5 police. They were journalists, and they were attacked by a mob of miners after the security person there alerted them. He did not get cooperation from the Minerals Commission on the ground, and he felt like the local officials were all quite aware of what was going on. Prior to this, 15 people had been arrested for galamsey in the Nzima East municipality, a place called Akango and Ablebo. These are places in the western region. Akwesi Ajay says the team had 10 excavators with them as well. Gentlemen, this is the situation we have. He says the new minister seems to be doing these kinds of things, soups and stuff, but it looks as if the galamsey is... We need to raise the temperature a bit more. We need to.
Bernard, I'm tired.
Oh, how?
I repeat, I said this last year when we discussed galamsey. I am tired.
You can't be. It's a new government. You have to be tired.
No. You see, because the people in charge are not willing to do what it takes to solve the problem. Everybody is willing to do just a bit to let it look like they are doing something. But I still say, look, galamsey has reached the point where it's almost like what cocaine is to Colombia. It's too valuable. It is too valuable. It is too valuable to those who are in it. It is too... You heard Enim's final comments on just how helpless the authorities are. They did look like these are people who are engaged in a fight against galamsey. They are protecting themselves. they are not they are basically resigned to their fate, and they have left the area to its fate, because nobody's going to want to lose their lives on this matter. Okay, we've screamed, look, until the full might. I know you have an interview. Ken should wait until the full might
of
the state is brought to bear, and by that we mean the full might. And last year I gave you an example. Look, there was a Peru, second largest exporter of gold in South America, was having a massive problem like this. The Amazon, east side of the Amazon was being eaten into. Basically launched a raid of almost warlike proportions. It wasn't in bits and pieces. By the time they were done after 3 days, 10,000 people had been arrested and jailed.
10,000 people?
They arrested and jailed 10,000. They showed up in the Amazon forest with everything. They didn't show up with 3 soldiers, 5 policemen, 3 forest rangers. Oh. They showed up with everything. It had gotten to that point. And I think as a country, we must agree that these are the places. The state must wake up and say, look, nobody is supposed to mine in this area. We understand that the LI is being worked on. Once that is done, and we are aware that nobody is supposed to be here, drop the full weight of the state in those areas. Let people feel it too. Again, I said, let Ken wait for me, I beg you. We seem to struggle to catch a big man. Bernard, a news report says the Chinese people who were there were fixing equipment. It is not cheap to bring in outside expertise
to come and fix
excavators. They were not there to mine. No. They are the engineers on site to fix machinery. We almost a decade into the fight against galamsey. Aisha 1 is the only face we have. And I keep telling you that I do not believe that Aisha 1 was the biggest or is the biggest galamsey in Ghana. This is a country that has been able to point out its most dangerous armed robbers, its most dangerous scammers, but some way cannot point out its most dangerous galamsey. The security authorities need to do better. And again, it tells me that they don't want to do anything about this particular one because, again, like I said, Bernard, it has become too valuable. The system is compromised. Let's be honest about it. The system is compromised. Please go on with the interview.
Ken Ashigbe is the convener of the Ghana Anti-galamsey Coalition. He's joined us to talk about what the coalition is doing in reaction to some of the latest stories we've had. Ken, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Bernard. And I wish your colleague could continue. Because, you see, the challenge we face, Bernard, is an existential one. You have a country where 9 forest reserves have been taken. And Bernard, these people who have taken over, it is not your normal, galamseyers who have a few pump action. You see them dressed, they have splinter jackets, they are wearing, boots, they are wearing military fatigue, they are carrying very sophisticated weaponry. And they are the ones who now, have barriers at the front and they are preventing people from getting into these spaces. And Bernard, they are bringing people from outside your jurisdiction. So, we are surrounded by all of these countries that have gone through war one way or the other. We also have, all of these cells in Burkina and all of that. And now because of gold, and it is valuable as your colleague said, so they bring them in, they hire them in, and they are providing them protection. What do you think? Let's learn from Boko Haram. Boko Haram was being used there by the politicians. It got to a point where the Boko Haramers themselves realized that it was lucrative. So because of that, they were able to, now they themselves set up. And so that's what we've done. And these people, they started with all of them being at one place, and now they are franchising them. So you can be sure that these 9 forest reserves, they started with 1 and now they've expanded to the extent that the forestry people are not able to go into these spaces. So if this is not a declaration of war, if this is not one of the ingredients for which the Constitution stipulates the way a state of emergency should be declared in those parts of this country, I don't know what else it is. But Bernard, it is true. The reason is that by the time you get to that particular excavator, they will tell you the way they are honorable there. You know, the firefighters have become the arsonists. It's the reason why we're not able to kill the fire. Because the people themselves that we have put in charge have become the arsonists.
Okay, but Ken, now we have a new government in place. The president is forming his team. He has appointed a lands minister. Is there any hope? Because I'm sure he's been enjoying a honeymoon because his cabinet had their first meeting only last week, right? In terms of the forces against galamsey, we know the system is compromised, but there's a new government, and therefore, and I believe that a lot of people, in fact, there was a report you heard earlier where some of the people said they voted for this government because they wanted to end galamsey. So is it time the pressure began to mount again at the same proportion it was mounted prior to the election, knowing that some of that pressure has come down, possibly because of the transitional period?
Right. So, Bernard, I think you make a good point about the transitional period. But unfortunately, this is not one of the cases where you can have a transition. You have a situation where your turbidity of water is where it shouldn't be. You have the situation where you are dying from poisoning. You have a situation where the minister himself is telling us that 9 forest reserves are no-go areas. They are now red zones in the opposite direction. And then you also have the situation where about 40 or so odd ones are also are also compromised. So we cannot. You remember that the president, before he even took office, he set up ORA because he thought corruption was killing them. Immediately they got in, and then they got the challenge with education and feeding. Immediately they didn't set a committee to think about what is happening and find out information. They got into action. The same thing happened with our energy. Unfortunately, we've not had that level of attention and action to the issue of galamsey. We got a regional minister who decided to give the criminals 2 weeks to go and continue committing their crime and take out, the evidence of their crime away from there. Thank God now the minister has started some action. But I think that we need to realize that the Wongbok, as we were saying earlier on, and it was the same when the NDC was in opposition. They were ready to take a private member's bill to repeal the LI 2462. As we speak, nothing has happened. And I'm beginning to ask myself, is it because our AG was the chairperson of the subsidiary legislation committee? That is why no action is taking place. There's the alacrity with which he's dealt with some other issues, like getting some people who had been, in his opinion, have been wrongly tried, getting a nolle prosequi. It is the same alacrity that he should be dealing with.
So let's get the key demands right. We need the LI 2464 repealed, correct?
Correct. It has to be done like yesterday, because that's a very bad law. Look at a situation that talks about mining in forest reserves. Bernard, that particular law, you can see that it was done because of Itiwa. The former president wanted mining in Itiwa, but Itiwa is a GSP, so they want to be able to then say that he has allowed it. If you look at around Itiwa, the whole of Itiwa, they've given gold concessions surrounding it. So if you go into that particular area, you find out that the exceptions, there are some exceptions, some prohibitions in that particular law. And on top of it is mining in the GSB. They did not deal with any of those prohibitions. The only one they dealt with was the fact that the president could allow for mining in GSB. You go in there and then there's a seed orchard. That is also one of the places you cannot mine. Plantations are one of the places. Do you think that when it comes to a GSB and a seed orchard, which is more important, But in that particular law, the president cannot allow you to go into a seed orchard to go and mine. But the president can decide that based on some national interest, can allow you to go into a GSB. So that law has to go. This is a law that talks about mining in a forest reserve. It's mining forest reserve, but it came from the EPA. It's a bad law. And that we need to repeal immediately. And the president gave us his word. And so we are asking for that. The second one is we had asked for a state of emergency on our water bodies and in our forest reserves. The minister has told us now, and we've seen, some action that is being taken, that 9 of the forest reserves are no-go areas. So that one immediately, as your colleague was saying, immediately there should be a state of, a state of emergency, and everybody told that you cannot go there, so that we can deal with this national security threat that confronts us. We need to be able to deal with that. So that's important. And then also, we need to get to a point where all the equipment that are in these forest reserves, the funds that are on our water bodies and the buffers and all of that, we need to also make sure that we move them out. So that's also something that we immediately need to do. We agree that this particular fight is not just a law enforcement issue. If you don't deal with the law enforcement and stop the halt, because already since this government came into power, the Bonsa water treatment plant in Takwa is being shut down. I don't know whether they restarted it. I went to St. Augustine's College, Cape Coast, when we went there the last time. There's a water shortage because the turbidity is not really improving. We saw some people tell us about the Ancobra, that the Ancobra has cleared. You know what they did? They went in high tide when the sea had pushed into the river to go and take those readings. Go during low tide or when it's normal tide and go and find out what is happening. So that's another thing to do. And you see, the challenge with the galamsey is a governance issue, is the political will. 90% of the problems that confront us with galamsey is the political will. So I think the president is presented with a very good opportunity. The MP for our wing has been accused by the traditional council that he's involved in galamsey, and he has also countered to say he is not, but they are rather the people in it. So it is important for the president, who indicated that he was not going to allow anybody in his government to be involved in galamsey, to immediately announce, and it should be an announcement that comes from him. So it's to the investigative agencies to quickly look into that. Another one is also in the Lembele area, the constituency for the Honorable Minister for Lands and Natural Resources. The NDC constituency chairperson is being accused by a gold mining firm, Agamus, I think is what they call them, of having encroached upon his concession and involved in galamsey. That is also another politically exposed person. So it is important for the president to be very explicit and decisive on these two cases, as he also looks into the situation of Akonta mine. And then we also had the situation where Heritage Imperial had been given prospecting licenses. They then went into a forest reserve with over 30-something excavators, and they have damaged the Pramprama forest. And so it is important that, as your colleague again was saying, that we can't be sitting in this country and all the people we have arrested are these young men and women who you find in the pits. Where are the kingpins, as His Excellency called them when he was in opposition?
So, as you know, the stories have started gaining traction again. And usually the way these things work is that as the media keeps highlighting the devastation, it sort of gives the impetus for some collective action. What is the coalition contemplating on as next steps? Because if you follow the news from last week, it's been rising. City, Joy, a few stations have been reported. Galamsey, it happens here. There's an attack. Our reporter was caught in the crossfire, and it's building up. What is the coalition minded to do as a next stage? Because you've become the leaders of this galamsey fight. Indeed, the whole pressure of the election season revolved around the media and what we did. So what are you thinking?
So at this stage, we are planning to hold a press conference, but the other school of thought is thinking that we should engage the minister first. So, the press conference is to, again, talk about the challenges that are confronting us now, the issues around the the 9 forest reserves, and then the issues around the LI that has not been dealt with, the president dealing with his party people and other people who are also politically exposed people in the past government who had named him, Professor Freefor Barton's report that we've not seen anything about. And then, the forest reserves, we have a rapid response team. And as the minister said, now they can't go into. So we believe that it's important that the government really gets some support from allied, the military and all of that to get in there. And then we also need to be looking at the LI as we talked about. So we're planning a press conference in the coming days, but we also want to be able to meet the minister. I think it's, though some of our letters have been copied to him, it will be fair for us as a coalition to also meet him and listen to him. We know the Gold Board is doing some work. We know the committee that is set up are doing some work. But unfortunately, the damage is continuing. And the damage and one excavator can do. So we want to have this engagement with him. And then we will have a press conference because we need to address the sovereign people of Ghana.
Thank you, Ken. This is a long fight, so we'll definitely talk to you again. Ken Ashigbe is the convener of the Coalition Against Galamsey. As we speak, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Emmanuel Kofi Boa, we are told, has set out on a fact-finding mission to some forest reserves in Ashanti region after he lamented that major forests had been invaded by illegal miners when he appeared before Parliament last week.
What's fact-finding?
His visit coincides with the expiration of a 2-week ultimatum issued by the Ashanti Regional Minister for illegal miners to leave forests and water bodies. An operation at some forest areas to crack down on illegal miners has led to the seizure of excavators at Nkawie in the Achimangu Abuja municipality. The minister was joined by members of the Ashanti Regional Security Council and officials of the Forestry Commission. Let's read some comments. Which one be your concern?
No, Bernard, forgive my seeming impatience with the minister on this, but the factors that impact Galamsey and all those things and what needs to be done, what has been done. Look, they are written down, laid down, researched. There's so much information. So what, he's going to check whether the forests are actually being depleted?
No, he wants
what does he want to find?
Facts.
What facts again?
He wants to see the nature of the
devastation. Bernard, the past 3 years, Galamsey and the factors behind it, whatever, is perhaps the most researched academic topic in Ghana.
I'm telling you.
It is perhaps the most discussed topic in Parliament.
Yes. On air.
So what fact finding? We need action.
He wants to see with his own eyes.
No, Charlie.
And he wasn't ready for their job because this should have been prior research to taking their job.
So what should he do?
No, I mean that's what Godfrey is saying. That's not something you need to fact find again.
In Ghana, you have to show that you are working, so you have to go there.
We don't.
Show working.
No, the show working is not.
We've gone past research. Show working with Galamsey.
So you are saying what? They are repealing the LI. That's what they said they are doing. When I interviewed the minister last week, Minister for Environment says the LI will be repealed before the first quarter is over.
Great.
Now, until then,
free mining.
No, the minister is going.
But there's
around.
still people who are doing Galamsey. So if you are saying the LI is for forest reserves, right?
Yes.
There are still people who are mining illegally, not in forest reserves. What about them? Are we just watching them?
When you listen to the vetting of the sector ministers responsible from environment, lands and all, a lot of the narrative was you already know what to do.
Yes.
This is an area you've been passionate about, you've been advocating in this area.
Shouting opposition.
So I have been waiting with bated breath for the opportunity to say that, look, I expect more action than I am seeing now. I mean, you can do a stakeholder dialogue on education to decide on what to do, because then it's been a politicized area. We need to have concerted effort. So we all agree that if you implement this, it's not now that someone is coming to say you have destroyed this, it was goading. But for Galamsey, we all know what you are supposed to do. Like Godfrey said,
we don't need a stakeholder discussion.
No.
What about fact-finding visit to the forest?
It's choking, Bernard. Look, go and get the job done already.
He's going to find the fact.
Meanwhile, he's also said that
about the forest.
Where he's going to, we have heard him say that the places are very, very dangerous. So release the people. First of all, declare a state of emergency, which is one of the things that was,
trumpeted prior to election.
Yeah, we have seen how the government has expeditiously had its ministers sworn in.
Yes.
We saw that.
Quickly.
It was a priority.
Yes.
what shows that this government
some
has
cases have been
galamsey as a priority?
discontinued.
Exactly.
So
You've
the
dropped
government
cases.
has to move.
So what are you doing that tells me, a Ghanaian, that you are serious about galamsey?
He's
So
visiting
far,
for fact finding.
in the first 30 days of the government, I don't see the concrete steps.
Don't
it's
you think we
taking
should cut him
on
some
galamsey.
slack? He's fresh as a minister. He needs to consult.
No, Bernard, no. Because even from the constituency where he's from,
They are mining.
Exactly.
Galamu to Gala.
So the reason, part of the reason is that he has an understanding of the problem. He knows what to do.
Yeah.
So now that you are telling me you are going to do fact-finding mission, I'm sorry, it
So he
doesn't
should
cut
tell
it for
the
me.
president to declare state of emergency in the specific places we are talking about,
Precisely.
and chase out the people,
Action.
arrest all of them,
Action.
send them to court, and let the court deal with
And
them.
let the big
Seize the
wigs also be
excavators,
exposed.
expose the big names,
Yeah.
cut the financing, make an example of some key people.
Because in the
put
papers
fear,
today,
let people fear this. Put fear in the heart of the
Which
galamseyers.
reminds me, has the NIB updated us with the gold they discovered in
Alaji.
the containers? Alajis. What's the latest on Alaji?
We have to follow up as media.
Yes, I'm saying, but the NIB, you see, we have to follow up, but they gave us an update. They gave us information.
Yeah.
There has been no update on Alaji since.
Not that
Alaji is still missing.
Not that I'm aware of.
Have they confirmed that the gold was real gold?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, that gold, is it real gold?
We are not sure. It's not clear.
Good morning, Bernard and team. The
Morning.
issue of galamsey seems to be a persistent stain on our economy.
Yeah.
It is not the economy, our conscience, our
Continue
collective
reading.
conscience.
Your time is up.
Do
Continue
we have a
reading.
national policy in place to address this? It appears that we have relied too much on local and political will, which does not seem to be yielding effective results. Instead, it's worsening. In the long run, the burden will likely fall on taxpayers, as public funds will once again be used to mitigate its devastating effects in the future. Kojo Lumo from Parliament House. I was on the Kumasi Road over the weekend, and the devastation right by the road from Lindador and just Osino. And just after Osino, it's both shocking and disturbing. This was going on in broad daylight in the morning when I was going to Kwewu, and by 5 when I was returning. What is even shocking is that this is happening right around the house of the immediate past MP of the area, Honorable Ejekum, aka Arafat. It's very disturbing how our leaders are watching on for these galamseyers to destroy this country.
All right, there's more coming up shortly. Don't forget, our next discussion has to do with education technology. EdTech Monday is back, a forum for EdTech entrepreneurs, educators, stakeholders, and government to discuss the use of technology for teaching and learning. And today we're looking at addressing the out-of-school challenge, bringing learning to marginalized communities. I have a very interesting panel coming up shortly. But if you want litigation-free land,
yes, call Royal Kingdom Estate. They specialize in land acquisition, construction, design, property management, and more. They have properties in prime areas like Accra and Ebri. Land starts at 90,000 cedis. They offer flexible payment plans, affordable homes ranging from 2 bedrooms, premium furnished apartments for short rentals in East Airport. Visit them at Cantonment opposite Soul Clinic International School. Call 0557 755 909 or 0272 77880. Send an email info@Royal Kingdom Estate. Royal Kingdom Estate, building communities, nurturing dreams.
so we're basically having a discussion about how we can use technology to help you, particularly those of you who are not in the real school situation. We're talking about out-of-school learning, bringing marginalized communities into the picture. EdTech Monday is a MasterCard Foundation event or program with Mest Africa and the Citi Breakfast Show partnering. It's one Monday a month, and today I have my first panel for the year. Ananami is a skilled planning, development, and management education professional. She is joined in studio by Richard Dodu, CEO and lead AI researcher at Metaschool AI. Metaschool AI. It'll be easy. And we have Joanna Egan, a professional licensed educator. And today we will know who our panelists are briefly, and we will talk about deploying AI-driven learning solutions. The English is very big. AI-driven learning solutions in underprivileged areas. We'll talk about out-of-school children. There's a statistic called NEET, not in education, employment, or training. Plenty of people. What roles do community-based initiatives have in bringing learning closer? Just like somebody was bringing governance closer to our doorsteps, we want to bring learning closer to your doorsteps. And what is artificial intelligence, and how can we leverage it to make quality education more accessible? Charlie, these are very powerful terms. I want to welcome my guests. Good morning, people.
Good morning.
The way I'm happy, you people are just relaxed. But you haven't eaten this morning. Charlie, Ghana is moving forward. You have to be sharp. Good morning. Is it, Joanna, good morning.
Good morning, Bernard.
You're a professional licensed educator.
Of course, yes.
Wonderful. We'll talk about that. My AI man is in the person of Richard.
Yes.
So your company is called what?
Metaschool AI.
Metaschool AI. Metaschool AI. Wow, I like it. And Anna, you are a skilled planning, development, and management of education professional. Good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Wonderful. So let me start with Joanna. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you do. Sounds like an interesting job. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bernard, for the opportunity.
Good.
My journey has been a bit of, or let's say, a blend of education, that is teaching, doing digital marketing.
Okay.
Doing social media management and doing photography as well.
Just say you're a hustler. A hustler in the technology space. Teaching and learning, social media marketing. I see. How long have you been doing all of these things?
Barely 3 years.
I see.
Yeah.
And now you're settled as a what? You are a professional licensed educator.
Yeah.
Meaning what? You teach people or you start schools? What does that mean?
I teach people.
You teach people.
Yeah.
What do you teach them?
Computing.
Okay, so you can teach IT, computer science, and all those things.
Exactly.
Wonderful. And do you have your own school, or you teach in public schools?
I teach in public schools.
Teach in public schools. Wonderful. Anna, tell me a bit about yourself. What do you do?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay.
The founder of Menese. It's an Afro-centric clothing and accessory brand.
Okay.
That promotes African culture.
Okay.
Through contemporary designs.
Hey.
I'm also an educator.
I've
been a teacher for secondary school, running the British curriculum.
Okay.
I've also been a teaching assistant at Chelsea University.
Hey. Yeah, not easy.
I've done a couple of voluntary works as well as a mentor and a coach, guiding students to find their path in school and manage both their personal life and then their social life.
So all of you are doing many things. You do all kinds of things, and then you also teach.
Yeah, so Bernard, I actually add that currently I'm the social media manager of Ghana Society for Education Technology.
My God. Wow. And you do your own fashion stuff, and you're also an educator.
Yeah, and I've worked on a project just recently, HSE e-learning project.
Okay.
That is focused on creating an e-learning platform to support students. So mostly people that come into HSE, students come from different backgrounds.
Okay.
And from feedback from alumni and all that, I have my own experience settling in HSE. So there's this first year experience program that started and for 2 years, and then they got funding from the Mastercard Foundation to create an e-learning platform that content is being put in on there. So
you are both educators in addition to everything else you do. Let me come to Richard, and then we'll discuss. Richard, so you are the CEO of Metaschool. Tell me a bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, so I'm CEO of Metaschool.
Okay.
And what we do is that we use AI solutions to help students learn.
Okay.
Specifically help them prepare for the BEC and OASI examinations. Yeah.
That's how long have you been doing this?
For the past 4 years.
For the past 4 years. So when you say AI solutions for BEC and SSC, what do you mean by AI solutions?
So what we are saying is let me just give you a typical example. So let's say ChatGPT. A student will just ask ChatGPT, maybe I have a solution, a problem in board mass. ChatGPT will just solve it for you.
Okay.
What we've been able to build is an AI that collaborates with the students to arrive at an answer.
Okay.
So you put the question to the AI just doesn't give you the answer. It will ask you, okay, let's take it one step at a time. 1 + 1, what is it? Then the student will answer 2.
Okay.
Then the AI will say, oh, that's good, let's go to the next step.
Okay.
You have to add this to this. And if the student gets it wrong, the AI corrects the student. So it's a collaborative learning.
Instead of just copying the answer from the AI.
Yeah.
I see. And this is a local AI you are developing?
It's a local solution. It's amazing. We've even been able to build a model. It's a multimodal retrieval system whereby you can watch a video, and if the student doesn't understand something in the video, just talk to the video. I don't understand this. What did the teacher say here? And the AI will pick up from where the teacher was teaching in the video. It's amazing. Yeah, we've been able to build all this from Ghana.
So all of you are educators. Now, I think, let me state my problem. The truth is that a lot of people who are not in traditional schools, so they don't get access to the kinds of things you do directly. So, for example, you teach in a school. I'm sure you've taught in a school before. A lot of the people who do not get proper education are not even in a good school, or even if they're in school, they don't get to stay in school for long. And there's also geographical differences, gaps in schooling. So there are some places where schooling is episodic. If there's planting season, kids don't even get to go to school. And there are people who cannot afford school for whatever reason. So these are the people we are trying to discuss how we can use technology to reach them. Okay. Now, before we get into that, have you worked in any underserved community before? Have you tried to speak to in your job? Because it seems as if you work in different contexts, right? Have you had to deal with people who are not in a traditional school setting, or who are just living in an underserved community? If you have, tell me how that experience was and give me some insights into what you learned in that process. Who wants to go first?
Okay, so
Yes.
I think one thing about Meta School is that we mostly go to the underserved communities.
Okay.
We have most of our customers
Mm.
coming from the Volta region and
Okay.
the Northern region.
Mm.
And because of that, we have to actually do a lot of, we call it outreach. So we go to the schools, and some of the schools you get there, the reality on the ground is like they are so many years away from using technology to enhance their teaching and learning. And mostly it's because of costs, it's because of infrastructure, and also the availability of quality educators. And what we are saying is that AI really gives us the opportunity to be able to leverage its power to reach the students.
Okay.
So let's take something like costs or infrastructure. Putting facilities in these communities is very, very expensive because right now maybe the government does not have the resources to put up maybe a school over there. But with AI, we can give these students access to maybe tablets, whereby we can make the schools a cloud-based school.
Okay.
So it's about thinking outside.
But we have
the box.
internet connectivity.
Yeah, so that's another challenge. So because we've been to facilitate communities, you talk to the student, we don't have 3G, we can't even watch a video. So how does such a student get access to use the technology that you have given him to learn? So it now challenges us to now come up with solutions such like on-device learning. Such that the device that we are giving to these students has the content preloaded on it, so it doesn't necessarily need internet connectivity. And in instances whereby they need to submit maybe an assignment, it just goes through SMS because SMS still works over there.
So you are able to produce devices that can work in different contexts, including internet-less contexts. Exactly. Joanna, let's talk about some of the key barriers preventing marginalized communities from accessing education and how we can address them effectively.
Okay, thank you very much, Bernard. As usual, I am an educator, and definitely I would have to explain two keywords in the whole topic we are coming to discuss. Of which I will talk about learning and talk about marginalized.
Okay.
So we talk about what is learning. We say learning is the process of acquiring knowledge. We acquire knowledge, we acquire skills, competences. We do that through experience, we do that through teaching, and we do that through just learning as well. In all that, there should be a relatively change in behavior of the person. That is where we see that learning has taken place. We have a lot of people explaining learning from different perspectives, or let's say theology. We have the B.F. Skinner, we have the James Piaget, all talking about learning being constructive, cognitive, behavior, and then social learning. Because people learn by observation, people learn by learning, people learn by taking part in whatever they do. So these are some of the things we need to look at in the learning aspect. We come to marginalization. How are people marginalized? Marginalization occurs when people are treated insignificant, or let's say people are are seen unimportant in an aspect. And so with this marginalization group, we will talk of two main people or two main groups. Those are the disabilities and then the able bodies. The disability has to do with the disabilities we know, the physical, the sensory, the intellectual, and then let's say the learning disabilities.
Yeah.
These people in such a way have fallen short in some aspects. We talk about the able-bodied disabilities. These people are not disabled, but then yet they are marginalized. Yes. So we have the poverty, we have the what do you call it?
Sure, access to
gender.
information. Gender is also
Yes.
part.
We have economic disability or socio-economic status. We have geographical isolation. All these things are people, when they find themselves in these places, are marginalized or don't get particular aspect to things. So we say that learning is what the person wants to do and not what you want them to do. Yes. So you can take learning to them, but it's time the person has it in mind that, yes, I want to learn and I have to do it. And so coming back to the question you asked, I think economic constraint is one, where I think that government, or let's say other NGOs or other stakeholders and education partners should try their best to give students scholarships, especially those in need. We talk of educational programs or community-based programs. Let's try taking these programs to them in their communities to actually value the sense of education and learning. We have, I would talk of the last one, which is teacher education, and then shortage of teachers. I think teachers who are posted in rural areas could be given incentives to motivate them to go, because many a times we see teachers being posted to those places, and because they lack internet, they lack certain things, they won't go. They rather find other means to stay at where they will be comfortable.
That's a very comprehensive answer to a very short question. I notice you prefer using learning to the word education, which I think is fine. You've identified economic, social, and gender and disability barriers, which you believe have marginalized people, and you've suggested some solutions. I'll come back to you to explore those, but let me just announce that this is a Tech Monday, and it's a partnership between the MasterCard Foundation with Mest Africa, with Citi FM Breakfast Show, the last Monday of every month, bringing you a discussion about education. Now, today we're talking about using AI and other technologies to help out of school learners, bringing learning to marginalized communities. And so my guests are Joanna Egan, a licensed professional educator. I also have Richard Dodu, who is the CEO and lead researcher for Meta School AI, and Ananami, who's a skilled planning, development, and management of education professional. We are trying to still feel our way around the topic to understand this whole marginalization issue and what effective learning will be in those contexts. So Anna, let me just get your take on, we're talking about people who are out of school as part of the marginalized. How do you think our education system can track them better for the purposes of bringing them back into the formal system?
I think that we can begin with gathering educational data on the students. When we look at schools, admission forms, it's more generic, like it treats everyone the same. But then you have to understand the needs of the students that are out of school and are coming back to school. And so I believe that schools should be focused on gathering data from their admissions, so that they can better understand the needs of these students. From experience teaching students, both at the senior high level or secondary level and the university, I realized that most people come in not prepared. So they're just coming to the university especially, and they don't really have any experiences, especially when they have to be pursuing a different curriculum. I have my own experience at HSS University. I came from the GES system and now have to, be integrated into the
The formal
system,
okay,
which was like different. So things like reflection, I didn't have that. So we did a lot of reflective activities, and anytime I wrote my reflections, I got a lower mark. I kept improving, getting feedback and improving, but it took time for me to be able to get my feet when it came to, you know, reading an article and sharing your own perspective on it, right? So I believe that from the admission, schools should be able to gather data on these students and then tailor the teaching and learning activities. I'm more concerned about the content aspect of the teaching, right? More of the experiences. How do you create experiences for these students to have a meaningful learning in the institutions that they find themselves? I'm proud to say that Ashesi University is doing that. The project I mentioned that I worked on, we considered different learning, different background of students. We even considered people coming from places that they don't have electricity. So you take a student from there and then you give them a laptop. How do they proceed from there? So the e-learning at Ashesi now is helping such students to have certain competencies. So the courses will give them certain competencies before they start their university programs that they've come to pursue. So before they start, they already have, you know, hands-on of using problem-solving skills to solve problems in their communities and all that. And so when such a student find themselves in the classroom and they are given an assignment, they are able to contribute and become better of themselves.
And are you talking about university students, or you're talking about basic or secondary in this context?
So I was using the university as an example. The secondary school I have taught, and one thing I realized is that although this student, so it's an international school, all right, but some of the students came from different systems, and so I had to constantly pay attention to certain. I had a student called Mandea. She's really good, but then she couldn't express herself, and so bringing whatever you are teaching in her context was really helpful for her. So sometimes I have to take her out of class, like after class, you know, have sessions with her privately, explain certain things to her. And I like flipping the classroom because I feel giving materials to students to prepare to come and teach their colleagues, they feel, okay, so this is an opportunity for me to show how best I am in the class. And because they are also teaching or engaging with their colleagues, it's easier for them to not feel judged as compared to you, the teacher, teaching and asking them questions.
Anybody wants to add anything to that before I get into my next point? So she sent experiences around how she's helped to integrate people back into the system. You were talking about some of the tools you use in your communities, because I was saying that the way we see marginalization from a description, there's economic marginalization, there's even geographical marginalization, there's gender, and then there's also learning, as she said. Do your tools have solutions to all of these?
But we don't necessarily have solutions to everything, but what we can see is that AI gives us the opportunity to leapfrog our problems. Yes.
Explain.
So what I was trying to explain earlier on was building our schools in the cloud. Today, I think because of the challenges that we are facing as a country, to be very challenging for the government to put up another 1,000 schools to be able to get all students back in the classroom. What I'm looking at is a new way of handling this problem. Can we build our schools in the cloud? What does it mean by building schools in the cloud? So let's look at a typical problem that we are facing as Ghanaians. Students go to school, per the double trap system, they spend 3 months in school, then they spend 2 months at home. Now, what we can do is that, can we now change this model and call it 3 months on campus and 2 months distance learning? So within the 3 months on campus, they go to campus, they do whatever they are doing, they have their face-to-face teacher, but when it's time for them to vacate, we don't call it vacation, we call it distance learning. So they go home,
but they are still learning.
They are still learning. I have access to my tablet. So that's where another policy comes in. The free, is it the one student, one tablet policy? Yeah, we are really wasting this policy. we can use this policy to leapfrog our education, because the problems will always be there. But for the first time, we have all the tools to be able to scale the problems that we are facing as a country. So the students go to back home. Now, all the video content that they have to take, everything is right on the device. They can still continue learning. When they have an assignment, they can just submit the assignment, the AI grades them.
How would they be supervised? Do you propose that the teacher who's teaching the on-site students make some time with these off-site guys, or you think you can build in the supervision and the tracking into the system?
Yes, the supervision and tracking is based onto the system, but of course there will be a team of people that will be managing the distance learning department.
Okay.
We can really utilize.
So that instead of saying they are home, because I went somewhere and I met some guy who says he had gone to school. He had gone before the election. Then he came home middle of February, and he says he's going back to school in May. And I was like, why? And this is a Form 2 boy in, I think, one of the, it's like, I'm going back to school in May. Meanwhile, he hadn't been in school for almost even 2 months. He went, I think, a week after the election was when he went to school. And then he came home first week of February or so, or second week of February. Then he says he's going to be, actually first week of February. Then he says he's home till May.
It's a huge problem.
Now, you're saying that this system you're proposing can track the students' performance. You need definitely somebody to manage it, but it will save a lot of time for the people who are on campus.
Exactly.
And you're saying this is so you can have devices which are both internet and non-internet based.
Yes.
That's going to work. Wow. I like this idea. I really like this idea. Kale, what do you think? It's a very, very nice idea.
Bernard, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And even for a lot of urban poor persons, because we are thinking marginalization, very rural areas, but a lot of very urban poor areas in cities that will also benefit.
Because I know some parents are complaining about needing to pay more for classes.
Extra classes.
For the 3 months. So this February, March, April that the guy is home in May, they are looking, and some of the money is in thousands.
And we saved costs. So over here, AI has saved on infrastructure, and it saved us on cost too, because we don't need, a parent don't need to hire those extra teachers. The student is still fully engaged, and you will be graded just like
Are you actually using this? Because my worry as a parent is that when my boys get the tablet, they wander into strange corners. So we always have parents. It's tough. You know, because today they are doing an assignment. Before you know, they are playing a football game. Then he says, I'm coding. So how did you start coding? No, I've not finished my... you haven't finished your homework, you're already coding. No, the homework... Like, it's so difficult. Are you able to work checks into the system to ascertain that they are using the machine or the device for the right thing, and that they are working within the bands allowed? So maybe it's a 15-year-old, he's in SS2, and he's been given this tablet thing to do his math and science. How are we going to be sure that he's not browsing, watching other things?
So in terms of the devices that are given by government, we can just have a policy that this device cannot be used for any other thing, just by unless educational content. So before we give the device to the students, it has been pre-configured. When you go to the Play Store, you will not see any app other than educational content, and you can't install an app from any other source. So that automatically, we know that all the devices that we are going to give to the students will be used for the purposes that we want it to be used for. Secondly, devices may be procured by parents. You can just put parental controls on the devices. And
it's easier said than done, trust me.
Oh, no.
My brother, I'm talking from experience. You know, people just say, look, you put parental control on a device, then maybe you get an email from the system saying maybe your son wants to access this. So you have to have the presence of mind to check whether what he's trying to do is even useful or not.
I get you.
Because you also don't want to just leave the tablet and let it be regulated by a machine. You want to be interactive.
Yeah.
So whilst I understand AI, I feel like if the parent or the guardian is not cooperative, it's not a solution on its own. Do you understand? Because you know your child, and the machine can only do as much if you don't have a human interface. So I just want to put to you that your AI solution, notwithstanding, cannot work without the human being.
Yeah. So there's.
You agree with me, right?
Sure. The whole essence is that with AI is that if you don't have the human in the loop, automatically it's useless. Let's bear in mind that AI is supposed to serve us, not the other way around. So you will still need a human in the loop to be able to foresee certain things. There are certain times we mostly do not allow the AI to take certain decisions because we believe that because of ethical bounds or whatever. So we still need a human in the loop to be able to guide.
Let me come to Joanna. I know you're interested in this angle. Let me take your comment on it.
Let me add something to what my brother is saying. So I think, as I earlier said, learning is what the person wants to do, not you want what you want what should be done. No, the person feels like I have to do this, and that is what I want to do.
What are you saying? You have a mass. They give you a mass assignment.
So that is what my brother
and
said.
He's not doing that. He wants to play a football game. And you are saying learning is what he wants to do. How?
So we say that unless devices are configured, if not, they will go. Whatever you do, they will go. Yes,
but I think you are saying that learning is what
feel like learning.
I gave the guy a computer yesterday. He's supposed to do an assignment. They have maths week, so they say to do an assignment on a mathematician that you admire.
Okay.
Write a paper on it.
Okay.
You give this device to the guys, typing. Before you know, you are here. FIFA. There's a football game. Then they say no, they didn't give. They say he's just trying to check something. He's playing a football game.
So that is it.
So he's learning.
No, he's not learning.
Okay.
He's not learning. But then it's a point. I'm coming from a point where we have to actually psych them in such a way that learning is important, and then there is time for learning and there is time for everything. When it's time for learning, we are learning. When it's time that we have to do other things, we give the opportunity to do that. Secondly, we are talking about.
You want to add something? Yes, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Add something.
So for me, I come from the experience, points of view. So you have to consider the experience of the different students that you are targeting.
Mm-hmm.
There are students that cannot sit for long hours,
mm-hmm.
right? So you have to put breaks in between.
Exactly.
So if you give them the math assignments, you should break it down, right? So a student who cannot sit for like more than 30 minutes would have a break. So you can put a nice break and take a walk, for 7 minutes and come back. So whatever they will have to do, they will go and do it and come back, right? And then summarizing, not writing like a lot, summarizing and being specific as well. Summarizing the activity and then being specific and not giving them like too many activities at once. So you can break it down into different phases or different assignments and then making the activities game based. So instead of just sitting down reading, how do you call it? Like Googling and reading a lot of articles, you can make it game based.
Am I the one making it to the school? The school give the business assignment, make it do. We say no go do. I will say.
So I'm referring to the
then the problem is the school, not with me. Let me come back to. Let me come back to.
So
you're on your point. Thank you. Now,
the second point has to do with the devices which we load content to for offline learning, where even if there are no internet connectivity in a particular area, because there is a device which has content and could be used offline, students can rely on that. I would touch deeply on we being able to train teachers very well to be able to do what is needed in the classroom.
Okay.
Because if teachers are not trained very well to handle tech stuff in the classroom, they will go to class. We go back to the roots learning. We talk plenty, but yet still nothing goes inside because we are not too comfortable about coming to class, writing on the board. These current children now are, we say Gen Zs, they don't like sitting for long. They don't like talking, hearing you talk for long. So let's have them interaction. Let's have them do something. So at GSET, for instance, we do teacher meetups, we do teacher forums. So in doing that, we actually help educators to know how best they can use technology in classroom.
So the problem starts with the teacher and his approach.
Exactly.
So you mean teachers need to be retrained in using technology in the classroom in a more interactive, engaging way?
Exactly.
That's where the problem begins.
Exactly.
All right, let me stay with you, Joanna. How can we ensure that the content that we put on these materials is culturally relevant and accessible to diverse marginalized groups? Charlie, some of your questions are hard though. Like social studies. Charlie, what is this?
Okay, so I think in doing that, we have to make sure that people who are using this educational content or these educational materials you seek for their views or their advice in doing the education policy or drafting the educational policies, without asking for their views, without asking for their capacity in whatever they do. You put down the educational policy, but yes, though it won't have its impact on the children.
So user-generated insights to inform the content. So you try stuff out. You don't just put the thing there and say you're going to use it.
Exactly.
All right. What kind of collaboration do you think we need to get this done? So you've spoken about parents in the past. I think I suggested that parents need to get involved. Maybe let me come to you, Richard. Talk to me about what kind of collaboration is needed for effective learning in marginalized communities and everywhere else generally, right? Which other people can partner, and what can we do even across schools and stuff? Just talk to me a bit about that.
Yeah, so I think I will start with this platform. It's been amazing meeting other like-minded EdTech partners to really share ideas. We really need this sort of collaboration partnership. The MEST EdTech MasterCard program is very, I've been able to meet some very good EdTech partners where we shared very good ideas and we deliberate, and sometimes the problems they're facing is a problem I've solved in my startup, and we share ideas. Yeah. And secondly, too, we need a lot of collaboration with traditional authorities. It's very important, especially in the marginalized communities. I've been to communities whereby we want to talk to a school. We believe we're going to a school, and the school was actually a church.
Wow.
Yeah, the school is in a church. So during the day, or when the church is not in session, the school is in session. And when the school is not in session, the church is in session. So this the sort of collaboration that we need. And in other communities, it's the other way around, whereby the churches is in the school when the school is not in session. So we really need this sort of collaboration to be able to see EdTech developed, either learning, not necessarily just EdTech, but really getting all the students back in the classroom.
So that's a good example. So between church, what about community-based collaborations? Look, for example, there are areas with lots of schools. When you drive to the Kaswai area, there are lots of private schools there. I wonder if they do anything together. A lot of private schools seem to want to think that they have everything in their school without comparing. They don't even do competition with other schools. I think there's need for a bit more community-based initiatives, especially if, for example, you know that in a specific community they have peculiar challenges. So, for example, you go to parts of the central region and there's a specific problem in fishing communities. You go to another part of the northern region, there's a specific problem with people who are maybe having to move long distances to school. There should be community-based collaboration, taking cognizance of local problems. But I don't seem to see a lot of that happening in our schools.
Yeah, that's very true. Most of the schools that we visit, for the public schools, at least it's open. Once you have your permission from GES, it's quite very easy to walk in there to meet the students, show them the demo of whatever we are working on, and they get enthused and sign up onto our services. Mostly in the private schools, everyone is more like in our own corner. There is no communication between other schools, and there's no collaboration. And even those days we used to have intercore. You can see that.
And these days it's been reduced. Caleb, I know you built your craft as a journalist, a public speaker, generally because of your inter-school activities. So debaters club, inter-schools programs. And I feel like these days, because of the way we load the kids in one school, they don't get to do anything. And it's almost like, even in the churches as well. When I was young, in Medina Queen of Peace Catholic Church, every Easter we used to do things with all the churches in Medina. These days, most churches do things alone. All right. Now, again, in schools, they do their own inter-houses competition. They do their own quiz. They hardly go out. So and learning is not classroom. Do you understand? It's like we have de-emphasized the interactive nature of even comparing our experience. When I was in University Primary School, we used to do competitions against Ghana Atomic Energy, against Achimota Primary School. There was always that way of comparing our lives. These days, I don't really see that. I don't know whether in your schools you do this, but I think it's a big problem.
Okay, so Bernard, I am coming from a fishing community, okay?
Okay.
And this fishing community, we are at a point where even if there are classes going on, learning going on, and they have to go to the sea, or let's say they just leave. In fact, they won't even come for them to even leave.
Wow.
Yeah. So the question is, how then do we even put them back to the classroom? How do we ensure that they actually consistent in the classroom?
But do they need to be in the classroom? Let me push the question. Does learning have to take place in a structured setting?
No, not really, not on any time, because as I earlier explained how learning takes place, we learn by observation, we learn by experience. So it is not about coming to classroom, teacher standing there to teach and all that. No, people find a whole lot of different ways in learning. Yeah. So I think it shouldn't be a structured format like that.
Although I know that in some communities, school and classroom is a shelter. People don't have access to food until they go to school. A lot of people, it's when they are in school that they are away from predators, that they are away from danger. So, for example, when girls are in school, it's much safer than when they are just roaming around the community. So, whilst I appreciate that learning takes place everywhere, I also think that formal educational institutions have their role, where between 8 o'clock and 4 p.m., somebody's accountable for them within a space. And otherwise, there'll be someone. So we need to have that balance, right? Let's still continue with the chat. We're having a chat around addressing out-of-school challenges, bringing learning to marginalized communities. My guests have tried to explain what marginalization is. Some of the marginalization is in terms of social status, geographical marginalization, gender, and ability status marginalization as well. And they are using their own work in various communities to talk about how we can use technology generally and AI in particular to handle this issue. You can send us your comments on our WhatsApp number 054-998-6996. Are you a teacher listening to us? What strategies can you share with us on helping underserved communities or marginalized people to get learning? How do you innovate to support the less endowed in your classroom settings? What do you do for people who are behind? So maybe you are in a school where there are clearly students who are far behind based on where they've come from. Maybe you're in an SSS and some have come from communities where they've never seen a computer and yet they're supposed to do computing. How do you help them bridge the gap? These are some of the questions we are trying to grapple with. Number 3, what can we do as teachers to help each other? Because Joanna has said a lot of the problem in our classrooms is because the teachers themselves don't know how to use technology to teach. They are not interactive enough. They are very boring. Teaching Gen Z is not the same as teaching millennials, right? So my kids always tell you, I'm bored. Every 2 minutes, I'm bored. You know, like, how can you be bored? There's all these things. I'm bored. Like, what do you want me to do for you? You know, so it's a very tough situation. And I think the conversation has come back to the same point of we have to be innovative. We have to be flexible. But let's talk about ethics, Richard. Let's talk about ethics. Now, we're talking about AI, technology. What ethical considerations should we consider when we are deploying these AI-driven, sophisticated things, Mr. Richard Dodo?
Yeah, so I think the major part is bias. Yeah, the biggest challenge that we are seeing in our work is bias, because mostly the models that we mostly use a foundation model. So a foundation model is like maybe you're referencing from someone's work. And what happens is that they've trained the AI models on their content. It mostly comes from the West. And now we are also seeing some coming from the East too, so it's good. But they based their knowledge based on their content. So if you just pick that and bring that to the Ghanaian classroom, you realize that it's a major challenge. It's bad. So mostly what we do is that you have to pre-train that model in the Ghanaian context so that it understands teaching and learning in the Ghanaian context.
Let me actually read a text message that has come for you to develop. So this is from an educator I know, Reverend Dr. Avle. He says, "Greetings, Bernard and team. Can this AI education group urgently develop a device that can help our children to read and speak Ghanaian languages? My 2-year-old granddaughter is learning to talk. In school, she's learning English. At home, the parents got her a tablet which activates learning in English. So she's speaking English language faster than any local language. We urgently need something that can facilitate learning in our local languages. We should not think that learning is only in English. Dr. Avle, I agree with this so much. I want you to comment on this because, in fact, some of our kids are even speaking like
cartoons.
They are speaking like cartoons. No, I'm serious. Like Dora and these things they've been watching on Paw Patrol, they are speaking like those things. And I'm wondering, I don't talk like that. So why are you talking like this? Can your AI models speak local language? Ever? Tree? Zima? Fancy?
So what we've done is that we don't have the base models for local languages. What we've done is that we've partnered with another company, and they have a very popular app on the App Store called Abena AI.
Abena AI.
Yeah, which talks about so we are able to collaborate with them to build base models that will teach our students how to speak Chi, and I think currently we support Chi, Ga, then Ewe. Those are the three main languages that we support.
It's Ewe.
Ewe.
Since the language is Ewe. Say Ewe.
Ewe.
No, Ewe.
It's two.
No, Ewe.
Ewe.
So far today.
It is okro.
I'm not getting it.
I would volunteer my voice for the model. So you're saying that a model can be trained to speak a language?
It's actually available as it stands today.
Really?
Yeah, on the Play Store. I think so many downloads, and it's one of the high popular apps on the Play Store as it stands. It's called Abena AI. You can check it out.
And it does Ga, Tree.
It does Chi, Ga,
and Ewe.
And we are adding Awuza to it.
Right.
Yes, to make sure that our content is fully localized.
So this is for all content?
Yeah, this for all content.
The problem is a lot of us think in English. So even in adding and subtracting, it's going to be very tough. But I agree with you. This has to happen.
Yeah.
I wanted to just come to Anna. Any thoughts on this? Because you've worked in the higher... So you are more with university students or secondary university? Secondary university. Any thoughts on technology and how it can be used, and any thoughts on what they've said so far?
Yeah, with technology, I think it's not the role of the parents alone. I mean, if you have to do with kids at home, but then I think it's a collaboration between the institutions and the parents to see how best. Because if a school is deciding on what the student should use, for instance, and it doesn't work for the parent, then there should be an issue. So I think there has to be that collaboration to discuss what works best.
Okay, let me share an experience. So I interviewed a lady from what's the name of this lady? Dr. Pebi's Angele Pebi, who has this reading system on tablets. So they were encouraging kids to read. And kids were reading a lot, but they were using tablets. All right. Now my challenge is I have a lot of physical books that I want the children to read. All right. So now the tablet doesn't have all the books because of copyright reasons. So, but there are some tablets on the book. But I feel like kids should also read and mark and write. But because of that tablet thing, they don't really want to hold the book to read. And the parents, when they are holding the tablet, they can't always know what they are doing. Okay, so whilst in a way that the books they put on this device help the kids to read much faster, I also feel like they need to know how to read a normal book and use a highlighter to mark and things. But I think that skill is a dying skill. And if we don't take care, in the next 30 years, people may not even read books. Or they may read books in a different form. Should I be worried about that? Or is just I'm overthinking it? I'm talking to Joanna now.
Bernard, I think in both ways, it's both ways. You shouldn't worry. At the same time, you should worry. Okay, so you shouldn't worry because I think we are at a point in time or a point in life where we are shifting from the traditional aspect. So we are shifting from reading and then marking with a marker or something, moving to the AI and then doing things on tech stuff, or let's say on tablet and all that. So I think in both ways, children or learners should be educated in both ways. So that at a point, wherever they find themselves, at a point wherever they find themselves, if it's in a traditional setting, they are comfortable. If it's in the other aspect too, they are comfortable.
All right, let me read another comment. Bernard, our kids go to school at 6:30 a.m. and close at 3:45 p.m. Who is watching, and what is the science behind these long hours of loading our kids? How can these kids engage in co-curricular activities? Danny. Okay, Danny, my comment is, before I even bring the panel, are they learning from 6:30 to 3:45 in a formal book learning, or are they doing other things? If they are just doing classroom from 6:30 to 3:45, that's a problem. But if they have break, if they have free play, if they have extracurricular laced in, that shouldn't be too bad. I don't know what you think. That's what I think, though. Do you have any experience of schools that do this type of time, 6:30 to 3 p.m.?
Straightforward like this, no. I know there are breaks in between.
6:30 is perhaps when they are setting up for school. But my question to your guest, Bernard, is how, in your experience, you've used AI, if you have, to help kids with learning orders or disabilities, persons with disability. How do you use AI to help them learn?
So when we talk about learning disabilities, can you elaborate? We're talking things like some are dyslexic, some are on what?
Ability to
no, explain it so they'll hear. I see it on here.
So we have the inability to write, the inability to read, and then probably the matphobias.
Yes, or perhaps they are visually impaired, or
so that comes in with the sensory disabilities.
Good.
And there's also autism.
Yes.
So those are the sensory ones.
So on the spectrum,
different types of disabilities.
So are there any tools that can help any? And I think we have to take it one by one if you have time, but just an example.
I think one is assistive technology. So those who
what?
Assistive
technology.
So there are options for it to read for them, right? Those who cannot read.
So it will read for you?
Yes.
Okay.
So help you to navigate as well the platform.
Available in Ghana? Affordable?
Well,
assistive technologies.
Yes. And the other one is also, like I mentioned earlier, the experience, right? ADHD, they are considered like color blindness, for instance. So you have to be mindful of the colors that you are using on the platform. So if someone like use red, pink, and all that, like lemon green is too bright for their eyes. So you have to consider colors that are helpful for them. And then you also have options for them to choose. Whether they want the background to be black or white, or whatever color that helps them better. ADHD, they have like very short attention span and all that, so your content has to be broken down. And I mentioned the breaks in between. You can put activities like take a walk, 5 minutes walk, think about this. They come back to sit down and then they continue, because they can't sit and consume the content at once.
Yeah, so this problem you are talking about is a problem that is very personal to me. We do our outreach program, and we've been to communities whereby even speaking English is a problem for these kids. It's a real problem. So I think somewhere last year we worked on a model which is Talk to AI. So right on the Meta School app, it's available on the Play Store right now. You can just tap on Talk to AI. And what we do is that just talk to the AI. If the AI understands what you're saying, your colleague will understand what you are saying. So you just talk to the AI about any subject. And when you are wrong, the AI will correct you.
It's a good AI. Every problem AI can solve it. Messy.
It's not where we find ourselves is that it's two
Mr. Dodu, Richard.
Yeah, so Bernard, it's two things. We are facing a problem as a country, not just as a country, but as a whole sub-region. We have two ways. We either solve it the traditional way,
all right,
and it's going to take us another 100 years before we become a middle-income country, or we leapfrog technology for the first time. The AI revolution is happening, and we are seeing models being developed right here in Africa. All this while, it's always been export of technology from the West to Africa. Today, AI models are being built right here in Ghana from scratch. My companies are at the forefront of this. And what we are saying is that if we sit back, think outside the box, in the next 10 years, we can do the work of the next 100 years. And the world will come to Ghana How did you do it? We moved our schools into the cloud. We made sure that students will redefine the definition of a classroom, such that a classroom is not where you are physically, but where you want to be. That means wherever the student is with their tablets, they are able to learn and learn effectively.
But don't forget that schools solve many problems. It's not just learning that we take our kids to school. If my kids are not in school, I can't be here. So it's almost like parents have built this system where the school system is also child support.
Exactly.
So why I understand all this cloud business? If I live in the cloud, my children in the house with the cloud. By the time I come back, you get to be ready from the cloud. You know, they are responsible teachers who check on them to make sure they've tagged in, they've eaten well, and all these things. So whilst I understand leapfrogging, I think we need to also appreciate the value of traditional classroom. And I sort of tend to support more what Joanna was talking about, that the teachers themselves need a bit of reorientation into how to make learning more interactive. Let me read another message that has come through. This is from Francis in Accra. Hi guys, good morning. I'm Francis Mawunu. The issue your team are raising is true, but the bigger picture is learners are facing many learning difficulties, and such learners are left with less attention given due to their special learning needs. Currently, some of us are trying to bring 21st century knowledge and skills to help, but most school owners are not welcoming it because of the cost in training their teachers, and this is making many learners left out. Francis, you are typing an educational story. I'm reading, I think I'm confused. Do you answer what I've read?
Yeah.
Okay, then answer it.
Okay, so let me pick it from this point. I think apart from teachers some teachers not really being conversant with technology, I think the government too has to come in. Yes, the government has to come in such a way that we see we have places or communities where there are even no structured, you get it, not to talk of something tech.
Yeah.
The structure is not there. Where are the students or the learners staying to even learn? They stay under trees, they stay under these places. And so I think that government should actually put structures in place for these learning communities to actually embrace.
I'll take a short break. When I come back, I'll take closing comments. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It's a very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement, unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrade, and Buipe, or call 0244-313-368 or 0540-111-978 or 0202-021-175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
In the Chest of a Woman, a stage play written by Efo Kojo Maugbe is showing again by popular request. It's sensational. It's hilarious.
Enough! You slept with me. I never slept with you. You had me. I never untied me. You're lying to the feet, John. You
Hey! Sakura phone and Trodia.
Join Clemento Suarez, General Intatia, Akofa Ijani, Biola Samoa, Edina Matachi, and more on 28 February, 1st and 2nd March 2025, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. each day at the National Theatre. Tickets are going for 100 Ghana cedis for students, 200 Ghana cedis for regular, and 300 Ghana cedis for VIP. To purchase tickets, dial *713*33*10#. Supported by AE Cinemax, Enterprise Insurance, UNESCO, McPhillips Foods, and Verna Water. In the Chest of a Woman returns bigger, bolder, and better. Powered by Africa Arts Network.
First impressions matter. Make yours unforgettable with the irresistible scent of Princess Body Mist and Roll-On. Designed for every lady who wants to leave a lasting impression wherever she goes. And for our gentlemen, there is Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Elevate your presence with a confident, masculine fragrance that keeps you dry and fresh all day. Because your fragrance should speak before you do, use Princess Body Mist and Roll-On and Style Up Perfume and Roll-On. Your daily essentials for smelling good from dawn till dusk. Princess and Style Up. Smell good and feel great together. The GC brand. It's all about you. This advert is FDA approved.
Ghana Post. Ghana Post. The most affordable delivery option for food and merchandise from Ghana to everywhere in the world. Connect with us today and see for yourself. Ghana Post. Smart, secure deliveries.
Mensa coming package, no. In less than 5 days, Ghana Post, they make life the big. Ghana Post will deliver to you wherever you are in the world.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
So it's 2 minutes to end. My guest in studio, Ananami, a skilled planning, development, and management of education professional, Richard Dodu, who is an AI researcher. He's founder of Meta School AI. And I also have Joanna Egan, a professional license educator. So any final thoughts? We're bridging the gap between people in marginalized communities and those of us who are more privileged in learning, and we're using technology to do this. Final thoughts, I'll start with you.
Okay, I think technology is good because we are moving forward, so we can't stay where we are. But then we are in the African context, so if we are using technology, then the content on the technology has to be African-centered. I think this way the children are able to engage and understand whatever is being, communicated to them. And they are also able to think outside the box instead of being fixated on, what is coming from the West and thinking around how to solve problems using that.
Richard.
Yeah, I think the world is changing. The problems that we face as students, students in the next 10 years, 20 years are not going to face their problems. The way we used to learn then, learning in the future is going to be very different. Sorry. So what I have to say is that let's be open-minded. Let's think outside the box. We at Meta School AI have solved this problem to some extent, and we need a collaborative environment to be able to extend the solution to the world.
And let me end with Joanna Egan. Final thoughts?
Yeah, so I think what my other expert finalists have said are all true, and I think in doing that, government, parents, stakeholders, NGOs all need to come on board to make sure that education policies and then other infrastructures are put in place. Regardless of everything, Bernard, I think we can solve this best when we have conversation with these marginalized people we are talking about. Are we talking about disabled? Are we talking about people with economic constraints? Are we talking about Society of Teachers? Let's have a conversation with these people, and I think we would have a best solution for this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We've been speaking to 3 educators on EdTech Monday, first edition for 2025, with Ananami, a skilled planning, development, and management education professional, Richard Dodu, an AI man, and Joanna Egan, an educator. They do lots of things as well. Program brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with MEST and the Citi Breakfast Show. Time for City News at 10, and Ejubi Wiafi Akinting. Ejubi Wiafi Akinting is joining us with City News at 10. Good morning, Ejubi.
Good morning. Hello and welcome to the City News at 10. I am Ejubi Wiafi Akinting. Coming up, Appointments Committee of Parliament begins vetting